After a disaster, nearly 2/3 of businesses aren't prepared for an emergency, and 40% of businesses that experience a disaster never recover. Make an emergency plan now before it's too late. For a free online tool that helps you develop an emergency plan to keep your business up and running should disaster strike, visit ready.gov/business. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the American Red Cross, and the Ad Council.
.92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News. Collier County will start vaccinations this weekend. Vaccines are appointment only, but there are no spots left. The health department will vaccinate those of you who snagged a spot every day from Sunday to Friday, January 8th. The state-run testing site in Lee County is only open for one more day before the new year. CenturyLink Sports Complex closes today at noon. It'll be closed all day tomorrow for New Year's Day. The sites are back open on Saturday. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is in the process of opening a community outreach center in downtown Fort Myers. The center is going up along Main Street across from the Starbucks. A home opener postponed because of COVID-19. The FGCU men's basketball home opener games scheduled for tomorrow and Saturday will be postponed for a later date after a positive COVID-19 result. Because of the 14-day quarantine period, this will also impact the team's January 8th and 9th trip to Liberty. The official opener for the team will now be January 15th and 16th. Charlotte County gave out more than 200 vaccines in about 2.5 hours Wednesday. People scheduled an appointment and drove through the line to get their first shot in their car. Appointments are already booked until next week. A reminder for you ahead of New Year's Eve, purchasing and setting off fireworks is illegal in much of the state of Florida. Governor DeSantis signed off on a bill to allow it earlier in 2020. However, you will not be able to light fireworks on Naples beaches or at their parks either. Despite the signed bill, it does not override local regulations in place by the city of Naples. I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
Happy New Year's Eve. There's already a crash this morning on Palm Beach Boulevard, and this is heading eastbound towards Buckingham Road at the intersection of Tropic Avenue. It is shutting down the eastbound lanes. If you're heading from State Road 31 to Buckingham Road, stick to Orange River. That's your Up to the Minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For the final day of 2020, warm and breezy, clouds and sunshine, a high temperature of 83 degrees. As we ring in the new year, forecast at midnight looks good with a temperature in the lower 70s. Now for the first day of 2021 for your New Year's Day, even close to records, it's going to be a warm one. High temperature of 85 degrees with a partly cloudy sky. 80s for your Saturday and breezy, then 70s on Sunday with a chance of rain and a cold front. And that's why we're going to be cooler, drier with a lot of sunshine into next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Blah, 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 blah. Gear up for the liberal loudmouths at work. Drew Steele, mornings on 92.5 Fox News.
It's open enrollment season, and MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that saves most families about $500 a month. Google MediShare and see if it's a fit for you.
Happy 2021 from Conditioned Air. A new year, a fresh start, and a good time to freshen up your air conditioning system and indoor air quality. With our Southwest Florida weather, it's a good idea to have your system cleaned and checked by a conditioned air technician at least twice a year. Left unattended, small issues become big issues. Cars need regular maintenance, so do air conditioning systems. Conditioned Air, the comfort people since 1962. 1-888-COLD-AIR and online at conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
And now a word word from Dr. Johnston at 596-BACK.
Across the country, there has been a major increase in the number of back and neck pain cases. Most researchers attribute it to a decrease in the amount of activity people have been getting. This leads to pinched or compressed spinal nerves. These same nerves go down into people's legs and arms. I've especially noticed this among those with stenosis, arthritis, or bulging herniated discs. This pain, weakness, or numbness should not be ignored. Action needs to be taken. If you suffer from one of these conditions, or even scoliosis or neuropathy, it's important to get your condition correctly diagnosed and treated. At Johnston Spinal Care, we treat these conditions non-surgically, without needles or medications, using spinal decompression, completely safe and painless. Call today for a no-charge telephone consultation or MRI review. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
It's Aaron, former Army Green Beret, owner, Shoot Center Cape Coral. Around 1% of CCW permit holders do any further firearms training after getting their permit. Training can be inconvenient, but check out a gun range membership at Shoot Center. Annual memberships start at $29.99 a month, shooting's unlimited, and the first target is always free. Get your family comfortable with a firearm on your own terms, but please, don't wait till the last minute.
Shoot Center Cape Coral, just south of Escaya Del Prado.
Heard the good news about COVID-19 vaccines? Yeah, they're coming, but you can do a lot more than just wait. See, you have the power to help slow the spread. Actually, you could be a real difference maker and protect your family and loved ones too. Here's how. Watch your distance. Stay at least 6 feet away from folks you don't live with. And it's risky to be indoors with them too, no matter how far apart you are. And of course, avoid crowds. Also, wear a mask. CDC reports that masks protect both the person wearing them and the folks around them from particles that carry the virus. And wash your hands, using soap and water for 20 seconds, and do it frequently. Watch your distance, wear a mask, and wash your hands. Simple, effective, and along with vaccines, they're how you can make a big difference.
Learn more about vaccines at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. That is the talk and text line. We stream live on YouTube anytime you want to watch, as long as they'll have us. And at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. We always appreciate you subscribing to the channel and watching us on Facebook. Maybe you're doing that as well. At Drew Steele Radio or at 925 Fox News. It is, Jake, is it New Year's Eve yet? Is that where we are right now? We're close. Yeah. Did you not know that that's today? Today is New Year's Eve. How about that? Are you excited?
This last 24 is done.
Yeah. It's funny because I was having a conversation about this yesterday and talking about New Year's Eve and 2020 being over and all the comments on different social media sites where people say, man, I'm not going to forget to put 2020 on my checks next week. I'm going to be glad to not have to do that anymore. And all of the things that I don't have to worry about anymore. And I'm just putting 2020 behind us. You know, I'm not trying to be Debbie or Donnie or Dingle Downer, but I'm just going to put it this way. Are you sure about that? Like, are you, well, 2 things. Are you sure that, let's say, tomorrow everything's different? Are you sure that next week everything is going to be different? And then I might even ask this question. I don't know, maybe have a little fun with you, 239-479-5592. Look, it's New Year's Eve morning. I'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. It's almost like I just feel like today is the day. I'm just going to open phone lines and whatever you want to talk about. Maybe you want to talk about the best of 2020, the worst of 2020. Maybe Julie Kelly, who's got a great article in American Greatness, as she usually does. Heroes, villains, and victims of the 2020 horror show. Who are the heroes, the villains, and the victims? I mean, the victims, we all know that's us. But the heroes and the villains of 2020, maybe you have your own list of heroes and villains of 2020. But seriously, when I say, do you really want to step into 2020 and are you excited? I mean, step out of 2020 and step into 2021. Are you sure? Because you realize what some of the not so fun circumstances will be moving forward if I still say if Joe Biden becomes the president of the United States. I know. I still use the word if. Look, it's not over until the lady that has had a little too much is to dine on sings. Is that politically correct? Are we allowed to say until the fat lady sings? That's not really politically correct, is it? So we've got to maybe come up with another term. I don't know. Somebody will text me 239-479-5592 and tell me what the politically correct, because we certainly wouldn't want to insult anybody. But again, there's a lot that we're going to be moving into 2021 with that I'm not too sure that we're going to be excited about even more than 2020, like Joe Biden presidency, possibly, like the fact that COVID goes away when the people decide it goes away. Do you understand what I mean? Does that make sense? Because, if you were to take a step back and look to 2021 and you were to say, man, I can't wait until that moment in time where we can just get rid of COVID. We don't have to talk about it anymore. We can live our lives again. We can move forward. When is that? What are the parameters? That's one of those things nobody talks about, right, Jake? Has anybody ever said that to you? Like, what is it going to take for governments, WHO, CDC, locally? What's it going to take for people to say, okay, everything's fine now. You're good. Go on out and enjoy your lives again. You may. It's something that we have decided that you can do from now on. What's that look like? When is that? Now, certainly, it's not going to be as bad as it's been. As far as the light at the end of the tunnel or the hope. Can't be any worse than it was in March and April when nobody knew anything about it. But, could it? We hear about new strains of COVID. We hear about the fact that even though you're vaccinated, that you still got to mask up. You still have to social distance. So don't get carried away. Life doesn't go on now. You're not somebody who can now be, invincible and walk around and wear a cape or wear tights or something like that. I mean, it's not. Although people do that. People wear tights to feel invincible. Well, I mean, one guy did, but that's a whole other. So I'm just putting that out there. So remember that I just wanted to bring this up before we get going because there's a lot to talk about. That COVID and the lockdowns and your life on lockdown, with everything that we know at this moment, on that clock, on this calendar, on this date, is only going to change when the people say enough. Everything we know, I want to get back to my life. Not really concerned to say, I got to have $2,000 in my pocket. I got to have that $2,000 from the government. I need the government to take my money and then decide what they're going to do with it. And then when I need some, they're like, hey, I'll give you a little bit here and there. Go ahead, sprinkle it in, while they're taking away my job, my profession, my future, my chance to pay a mortgage, the chance to educate my child even the way I would like to. Maybe not with a public school, maybe in a private situation. Yeah, I don't get to do that because the almighty government gets to tell me how that works. And speaking of which, you have $2,000 now that is stalled in the Senate. It is something that we're not going to be talking about right now. Gridlocked on the 2,000 COVID stimulus checks. You got Mitch McConnell saying he's not going to hold a vote unless Democrats support the other two items which he bundled into the bill. Those being the repeal of Section 230 and the investigation into election fraud in 2020. And as much as people would like to have everybody on board and look into the issues of election integrity in this country, at least half the country thinks that there is no issue with election integrity and there was no fraud in the 2020 election. So they're not interested in looking for it. So when you bundle it together, you're not going to get it. So the bad news for those that really need the money and could really use the money, not those that don't need it and are going to get it anyway, which we don't do anything as a government. You know, we just throw money out there and it falls where it falls, and then we investigate and we come to find out there was a lot of fraud and people that really didn't need the money, but it's only fair. As the people who desperately need it still have issues because you won't open up an economy. But when you talk about the money and you see what's happening, that you quickly understand how, number one, the bureaucracy works, how crazy it gets in Washington, D.C., how they go after each other and they play these political games while the American people sit around and they have to suffer through all of this. And some of the other things that are attached to the bill that will only pass because of what Democrats always do, which is they always get away and they always get a chance to do what they want, as Republicans typically cower or they don't fight. They're always afraid to fight. Sorry, I just have some frustration with not only the $2,000 or the $600 or the $1,200 or however much that's going to be given, thank you very much, to the American people while the bureaucrats are the ones that shut down our economy. But some of the other things that are tucked away in there as well. Everything has to be these poison pill situations. You always have to have a situation in D.C. And look, I'm just telling you something that you probably already know, but I'm reinforcing what you already know. This machine doesn't change. Washington, D.C. doesn't change. And what do? They wait till the very last minute, the very last hour, or the very last minute of the last day to which they can do something. They'll throw pages and pages, thousands of pages that you can't possibly read with things in there that you can't possibly know, to push forward, to make it seem like it's do or die. It's got to happen right now. It's planned that way. Trust me, I know. It's planned that way, all of this. And unfortunately, you have a little bit of both sides doing the same exact thing. And then you see some of the things that get tucked in that all of a sudden you wake up and realize, well, wait, why are we focused on this? And for example, in this pork-filled bill that the president did sign, and that, again, last minute, last hour, last day, it's just how everybody does it. And you don't have enough Republicans that would even side with the president, that would even back him when he's ready to challenge Democrats. They don't. We got to release UFO reports in 180 days. Hey, Jake's going to love that. Actually, Ian Hicken's going to love that, because isn't Ian Jake, right? Isn't Ian that works with Trey at night? It's Ian that's the big UFO conspiracy guy. Well, not really conspiracy, but he believes in UFOs and they're walking among us, and he wants the answers, right? Isn't he?
He used to have an entire investigative reporting team that went out and searched for UFOs.
Yes.
With multiple vehicles.
Yes, that's Ian. So he has like multiple vehicles and people that would go out and investigate, and the paranormal and the UFOs and everything else. And I love that he does that. And so he should be happy about that. We're going to get some numbers in 180 days. You know, we got that in there. That should be interesting. And then there's some of the other interesting that kind of ticks me off a little bit. Did you know that in in this bill, in the $900 billion COVID relief, the bill to help struggling families that would be easily remedied if you just let us get back to our lives. That according to the Wall Street Journal, here's an editorial board article here. Trump's school choice relief. The president improves access to vouchers for schools that are open. This is important for the state of Florida. What I'm about to tell you is something that is critical that you understand here in the state of Florida for a couple of different reasons. Democrats hate vouchers so much that they restricted states from using education funds in the $900 billion COVID relief bill to help struggling families during the pandemic send their kids to private schools. President at least opened the door for some school choice relief, which is nice. It sets aside $2.75 billion for private K through 12 schools on top of some $54 billion for public schools. The catch is that, get this, none of the private school funds can be used for vouchers that go directly to families. You see, Democrats hate the idea that families might be able to make decisions about their kids and their education better than they can, than the bureaucrats, you know, the geniuses that are out there. And so what they do is they restrict these families from being able to take those vouchers and send kids to places that they would like their children to be educated. States can use the funds to support prep schools attended by the children of members of Congress, but not to help low-income kids attend those schools. The low-income kids are the ones who get affected and hurt the most. I'm supposed to believe that Democrats care about low-income families? No, they don't. No, you don't. Stop it. You don't. Because if you did, you would realize this. No, you care about the unions and the teachers' unions more than you care about our kids. It's just a fact. Because if you cared, you wouldn't be doing this. Unions were angry after several, actually they put it, Democrats, unions, were angry after several Republican governors used their small pot of discretionary education money from the CARES Act to help low and middle income families struggling to afford private school tuition. So they fought to stop governors from doing it again. Republicans surrendered because they didn't want to hold up the bill. You see the poison pill? This is what they do, kind of the things they sneak in. And listen, if you are someone who is an advocate who believes in school choice and vouchers like we do here in the state of Florida, then you look at this and say, well, what am I supposed to do? That is planned. The president signed an executive order that helps to remedy the injustice by allowing states and local agencies to draw from $1.7 billion in federal funds from the separate community service block grant program to divide emergency learning scholarships to disadvantaged families for use by any child without access to in-person learning. That's an executive order. You know a lot about executive orders, right? If you got a pen and a phone and you ain't the president, guess what? The next guy can come along and use their pen and phone and make it go away. That is sad, but that's what we have. Because Joe Biden can come along if he becomes president of the United States and take all of this away. He's going to have to explain why he did it. But then again, is he really? Because if the media doesn't press him on it, if nobody talks about it, if he just does it, then you get what you get, which is half the country who doesn't care about low-income families when it comes to education. They just claim that they do. And when they want to send their child to the school of their choice because, hey, it's their kid and they know what's best for their child, Democrats go, no, you have no idea. You do not know any of that. And by the way, that happens locally. Make no mistake about it. There are local school board members, local school boards. There are local teachers. Not everyone, but there are some that are out there right now that say, look, are you kidding me? I know these parents. They have no clue about how to educate kids. And if they were to make that choice on their own, oh, you can't even imagine how horrible this would be. If we weren't there, it would be a disaster. Really, would it? Really? That's a blanket statement you're going to make. Really, every single one. No, just some of them. Merely tell us who it is. And tell us what the problem is and help us understand. You can't. And so that's where we are. And I bring this up because it's important for what's happening in the state of Florida. And we're going to get to what the governor said yesterday. And man, the governor of the state of Florida is doing one heck of a job, and he gets it. And again, when you hear the audio of DeSantis who sparked applause when he told the press something that they needed to hear that's the truth, that goes against even the local media narrative that's out there, you'll understand that we right now are in election season 2022. 2020 is not over, but we're already into 2022, everybody. There's going to be a race for governor here in the state of Florida, and there's nothing more that Democrats want than to get rid of Ron DeSantis. They want him gone. They want him damaged, and they want him gone. And if they can't get rid of him, they're going to damage him any way they can, because if there is a possibility that Ron DeSantis might run for president in 2024 if, well, you know the other circumstances out there. But if he were to think about it, man, the best thing you can do as a Democrat is to damage him. And let's remember something. The reason why, and a huge reason why, Ron DeSantis is the governor of the state of Florida is because he believes in vouchers and he believes in school choice. And so do the families across the board in this state, including low-income families, middle-income families. Everyone believes that in the state, and he's right. And they voted for him because of that. And so now they're trying to take that away. And I don't know how you're going to make a case out of it. Yeah. So. All right. Leah Naples said it's not over until the weight challenged lady sings. I don't know that's not really fair. I don't know that sounds good. Yeah. But look, a couple of things before we go to break. Number one. When you hear this audio from Ron DeSantis and then you hear the take from the media and then you hear more about what they're trying to do to Governor DeSantis, you will realize that the damage that they're trying to do is because they don't want him in office. They do not want to see continued success in the state of Florida. They want the world and to believe that Florida is an absolute disaster when it comes to COVID and the way it's run and everything else. Even locally, they want to blame him. Because they understand it's election season and they know the consequences of success for a Republican. And we'll get you. And also the fact that sooner or later we're going to have to be tired of not only the media, not only Democrats and their liberal ideology, but we're going to have to figuratively, not literally, fight back also against the bureaucrats in D.C., even if they are Republicans, to stop them from doing things that would push poison pills through and make us make choices instead of having standalone bills, understanding where the need is for the American people. Like, you need $2,000? Do we need to have that happen? We need that standalone, end-all, be-all. That is it. You can talk about the rest of the stuff another day. Got to fight against people who would put poison pills in there and make choices. It's not fair to the American people. All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
This Fox News business report is presented by Big Island Builders, whose reputation for quality homes at a fair price is unsurpassed in Naples.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
A record Wednesday for the Dow, closing up by 73 points, hitting over 30,400 for the first time. Massachusetts Attorney General Maura Healey warns scammers are looking to cash in on the COVID vaccines. She says people are calling saying if you hand over credit card information, they can help you hop to the head of the line for a shot. And they can't do that.
Look to your government leaders, community leaders, the CDC, your doctors. Rely on those people when it comes to vaccine information and don't be scammed.
She also says beware of unsolicited phone calls demanding your social security number. Fewer Americans signing contracts to buy a new place to live. The National Association of Realtors says pending home sales fell nearly 3% in November. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jill Nato, invested in you.
Newsmax TV. Everyone's talking about it. 30 million people are watching Newsmax for real news on President Trump, Biden, the election, and more. And make sure you vote in Newsmax's national poll asking if President Trump should concede. Just text VIRUS to 39747 and vote instantly. That's VIRUS to 39747. Watch Newsmax for great shows on major cable systems and free on Roku, YouTube, smart TVs, and more. Vote about Trump. Text VIRUS to 39747 today.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
What's that switch in your kitchen do?
Nothing. Flick it on, off, nothing happens.
Weird.
Now, if it would turn on the overhead fan, that would be cool. Can't get that to work either.
Frustrating.
You know, this is what's wrong with humanity. We think we got it all figured out, but we don't even know what the switch is supposed to do.
Dave.
Think we can build a spaceship that takes us to Mars when we can't even get a switch to work?
Hey, Dave.
I swear, we're never gonna leave this solar system. We'll be stuck on this planet forever until we all go extinct.
Dave, what's the best case scenario?
Best case? Well, I make a call, someone comes and connects that switch to something, like maybe that overhead fan.
That's best?
Well, sure, but...
That's best. Best Home Services. They have 4 electricians and 4 trucks right now waiting for your call. They'd have that switch looked after in no time.
Well, I feel a bit silly now.
GetBest.com. When something goes wrong, we're waiting.
So maybe
we can go to Mars.
It's the holidays. Rock Solid wants this season to be your best ever. This year, your celebrations might be a little different. Rock Solid knows you'll be spending a lot more time at home. Give your family the gift of new kitchen countertops. Your new dream kitchen can be the centerpiece of all your holiday fun. Rock Solid promises fast installation, plenty of time for the holidays. And Rock Solid will give you a free sink, too. This holiday season, Rock Solid wants you to stay safe and stay healthy.
Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
When the unexpected comes calling, bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds of up to a gig. Bounce forward on a network that helps keep connected devices protected. To learn more, go to ComcastBusiness.com.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Our team can help you understand your legal options after an accident. We will file your claim and fight for the full compensation you deserve. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
Guys, has a little blue pill let you down again? We at MyMensClinic.com are open, seeing patients, and our expert medical staff will help you. We know that this year has been the toughest year any of us have had to endure, but the light is at the end of the tunnel. That being said, let's have 2020 go out with a bang and not a whimper. At MyMensClinic.com, we've helped thousands locally and many more nationally. Even if everything else has failed you, we can help. MyMensClinic.com doesn't believe in the one treatment fits all approach. We customize your treatment for you specifically. The appointment's only $149, and that's only if you see it work during your first visit. Otherwise, it's free. That's our guarantee to you.
Book your appointment today online at mensclinic.com or call 239-307-0125. That's 239-307-0125. 239-307-0125.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News. Collier County will start vaccinations this weekend. Vaccines are appointment only, but there are no spots left. The health department will vaccinate those of you who snagged a spot every day from Sunday to Friday, January 8th. The state-run testing site in Lee County is only open for one more day before the new year. CenturyLink Sports Complex closes today at noon. It'll be closed all day tomorrow for New Year's Day. The sites are back open on Saturday. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is in the process of opening a community outreach center in downtown Fort Myers. The center is going up along Main Street across from the Starbucks. A home opener postponed because of COVID-19. The FGCU men's basketball home opener games scheduled for tomorrow and Saturday will be postponed for a later date after a positive COVID-19 result. Because of the 14-day quarantine period, this will also impact the team's January 8th and 9th trip to Liberty. The official opener for the team will now be January 15th and 16th. Charlotte County gave out more than 200 vaccines in about 2.5 hours Wednesday. People scheduled scheduled an appointment and drove through the line to get their first shot in their car. Appointments are already booked until next week. A reminder for you ahead of New Year's Eve, purchasing and setting off fireworks is illegal in much of the state of Florida. Governor DeSantis signed off on a bill to allow it earlier in 2020. However, you will not be able to light fireworks on Naples beaches or at their parks either. Despite the signed bill, it does not override local regulations in place by the city of Naples. I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
Happy New Year's Eve. There's already a crash this morning on Palm Beach Boulevard, and this is heading eastbound towards Buckingham Road at the intersection of Tropic Avenue. It is shutting down the eastbound lanes. If you're heading from State Road 31 to Buckingham Road, stick to Orange River. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For the final day of 2020, warm and breezy, clouds and sunshine, a high temperature of 83 degrees. As we ring in the new year, forecast at midnight looks good with a temperature in the lower 70s. Now for the first day of 2021 for your New Year's Day, even close to records, it's going to be a warm one. High temperature of 85 degrees with a partly cloudy sky. 80s for your Saturday and breezy, then 70s on Sunday with a chance of rain and a cold front. And that's why we're going to be cooler, drier with a lot of sunshine into next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Run all along.
It's Kaylee Kobe at Kobe Cooling. It's been almost 5 minutes since you have heard an air conditioning company commercial all day long. Blah, blah, blah. So how do you pick the best? First, only pick a company with NATE certified mechanics. Next, the license holder should also be the owner, not some random license. And you want someone who has stood the test of time. In other words, you want Kobe Cooling.
When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949. And now offering Kobe's exclusive brand, the Florida Reserve. Call and ask us about a 10-year guarantee with no hassle warranties.
Most people that buy their own health insurance think once they have chosen their ACA plan during open enrollment, they're stuck for the year. This is simply not the case. You can change at any time, no problems. If you are fairly healthy and don't need mandated coverage like maternity, you can save 30 to 60% with Health Plan Network. Couples under 65 are saving $500 to $1,000 a month with better coverage. You owe it to yourself to see if you qualify for a better plan that can save you money with lower deductibles. Go to healthplannetwork.net to request a quote. That's healthplannetwork.net. Or call Tim Cooper, an expert with over 23 years experience, at 239-268-6712. That's 239-268-6712. Act now to see if you qualify to save 30 to 60%. healthplannetwork.net. Sensible solutions.
Hey, Aaron Walker here, and yes, you can still get the full original base MSRP for your trade-in from Naples Nissan. But time is running out, folks. For several months now, we've been telling you to bring us that 5, 6, 7-year-old car you're driving now to get the same price that you paid for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. If your trade-in is a 2014 or newer with less than 80,000 miles on it, only Naples Nissan will pay you the full original MSRP for it. But not for too much longer. We've already taken in hundreds of quality trade-ins, sold hundreds of new cars, and made hundreds of new happy customers. Don't miss out on your chance to get the full MSRP for your trade-in too. This offer will end soon, Southwest Florida, so don't wait any longer. Come see us here on Pine Ridge Road and drive your brand new Nissan home today. Visit NaplesNissan.com for full details. Happy holidays, Southwest Florida. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. It is New Year's Eve. How about that? It's kind of early to get your festive. I wonder what it is you're going to do this New Year's Eve. 239-479-5592. Maybe you have some thoughts on turning the clock and what you're going to do today and what your New Year's Eve is going to be like, if anything. I mean, I guess we're told that there are things that we can do and there's things that we can't do. I mean, where was this one report? I guess in Australia, they're like, listen, we got to stop the kissing, the hugging. We can't do anything like that. Australian authorities have banned New Year's Eve kissing and hugging to stop COVID. How's that exactly going to be enforced? Do we know how they do that? Authorities in Victoria, Australia banned kissing and hugging on New Year's Eve despite the fact that there's been no new cases of COVID in 2 months. That's what they're saying there in Victoria. Hugging and kissing should not take place during celebrations between anyone with immediate family members. What do you do? How do you go about that? Is this? Oh wait, hold on a second. Is this? Oh, I wanted to play this, but I haven't heard the audio, so maybe I'll wait just in case. But yeah, you've got Australians that have the most draconian lockdowns described in the developed world. A pregnant woman arrested in her own home for promoting a lockdown protest on Facebook, while authorities also made home visits to people planning to attend. Can't do that. Hey, would you like to have that in Florida? That would be great, right? If anybody would even suggest that you don't wear a mask, that people would come to... Hello, knocking on your door. Wait, hold on. Yeah, hello, yeah, could you come with us? But that's fine. So no hugging and kissing in Australia. We don't do that. So that's good to know. I mean, look, at least you don't have a situation for New Year's Eve where you would have New Year's Eve celebrations that would have fireworks in the sky, maybe drones where they would be celebrating like Marxists or anything like that, right? There's no way. Oh, wait, this just in. Yes, they do. Hey, hello, London. In a display that will turn off the vast majority of the country, this is from Zero Hedge, a light show involving 300 drones. They're going to have drones in the skies over London because they don't want to do fireworks. They don't want people on New Year's Eve today to go there into London, into the streets and get together, mass communing of people watching fireworks in the sky. So they're doing drone displays. They recorded them last night in London, and it featured a celebration of Black Lives Matter, everybody, in the sky. So you can see for New Year's Eve, it's a celebration of the openly Marxist Black Lives Matter group. Remember, it's not my words about them being Marxists, it's their words. And if you need to Google that, I don't know if Google would even let you see it. All kinds of cringeworthy inducing messages, including a reference to online Zoom meetings. And the mayor there of London, Sadiq Khan, who had a hand in the show, is saying it's a special broadcast to reflect on the defining moments of 2020 and a message of hope for the new year. Is Black Lives Matter hope for the new year? Maybe for some. So there you go. A little bit of that for your celebration. All right, Bill's in Naples. Bill wanted to talk about the best part of 2020. There's got to be, is there something good about 2020? What do we have here as we move into the new year, 2021? 239-479-5592. Love to hear from you. Maybe the good, the bad. I was mentioning earlier, I got to read this from Julie Kelly, American Greatness. She is awesome. Heroes, villains, and victims of the 2020 horror show. Who were this year's heroes, villains, and victims? And which figure in American politics fits the bill for all three? So we're gonna read that and go over it with you and get your thoughts on this New Year's Eve morning. All right, Bill, what do you got?
All right, let's start with the positive because there's plenty of negative. We've all been listening to it for at least 10 months, maybe even up to a year.
Yeah.
Let's look at the brightest side that we have in Southwest Florida.
Okay.
And the brightest thing we have is that we have Governor DeSantis to thank for the ability that you're still working at your job, I'm still working at my job, and 95% of the people we all know are still doing their job, whether it be at home or whether it be at work or out in the construction community or in the restaurants.
Yeah.
Everybody I know, 95% of us don't have a whole hell of a lot to complain about when you stop and put it in proper perspective, which is about a third of our country doesn't enjoy the things that we have enjoyed the last 9 months to a year.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful and thankful that we have the governor we have and that he has stood up and had the backbone to stand up to everybody else and all the other political pressure that comes down on him and say, no, we're going to do it our way because our people have a right to work and have a right to live their lives.
Yeah, you are spot on, Bill.
That's what I'm grateful.
Yeah, you're spot. And
That's
to
what I'm grateful for.
and and to your point, Bill, a couple of things before you go. The first thing is, did you get a chance to hear Governor DeSantis yesterday when asked about whether or not he has taken the vaccine? Did you hear the audio from yesterday?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay,
I was
well,
not working.
well, here you go. I see you. Aren't you glad you listened to this program? And aren't you glad that you're listening right now? Because I have the audio. So yesterday, listen to this. The governor, right? He is there. He's talking about the vaccine. He's concerned about what is happening with those in long-term care facilities. That's where he is at the moment in time that this audio plays. The press is pressuring him on the vaccine and the seniors at risk populations that he has been saying, listen, they need to get the vaccine. It's important. And you have the press asking the question, well, how about you? Oh, did you get the vaccine yet? What's going on? Because remember something, Bill. And I don't know if you need to go, Bill, but I was going to say.
No, I'm good.
Okay, good. Stay there because I want you to hear this and then comment on it. So remember, it is it's Trump's vaccine, so we're not going to take it like Kamala Harris said. I'm not going to take it. Trump tells me to take it. I'm not going to take it. But then she takes it because now everything is all different because now we need the vaccine to help because if they're going to be the president, vice president, then we need an economy that maybe has a glimmer of hope. So then all of a sudden it's genius when it wasn't genius before, but it's genius now. And of course Republicans, they don't want to take it. They're the ones that are saying, hey, I'm not taking this, and so they want to call out Ron DeSantis. So when they tried to call him out yesterday and say, well, have you taken the vaccine? Why haven't you taken the vaccine? And he says,
no. So what I've said is I'm willing to take it, but I am not the priority. They're the priority. I'm under 45, and so the people under 45 are not going to be first in line for this. And so when it's my turn, I will take it. But this is who I want to be vaccinated. I want my parents, our grandparents, to be able to get it. And, granted, I'm an elected official, but whoop-de-doo. At the end of the day, let's focus where the risk is.
And there you go. And everybody in the long-term care facility, those physicians, doctors, nurses, they're applauding. They all get it. Look, he's an elected official, but big deal. He's under 45. We got to worry about those that are at most risk. That's why this state has been successful, because he recognized that. And he is being ripped apart by people for being that, for saying things like that. But to your point, you should be thankful the governor is this is our governor, Ron DeSantis, as opposed to the alternative, which can't even imagine what it would have been like.
Well, two words describe him the best at that particular point in time with his interview: class act.
Yeah.
100%. Again, standing by what he has stood by from the very get-go.
Yeah.
Let's take care of the people that need to be taken care of first.
Yeah.
Everybody else is clamoring, I got to get the vaccine, I got to get the vaccine. Then you got the other people on the other side of the thing that says, you're not injecting anything into my body, but you know what? Vaccine, no vaccine, COVID, no COVID. They've had that belief and opinion from the get-go. They're usually the ones that want to get a flu shot every year. They're the ones that would fight getting their kids immunized and getting vaccines for their kids. So I'd like to see the statistic of how many of those people have actually felt that way all along versus the ones that are just all of a sudden on the bandwagon because of the COVID shot.
Yeah.
I don't have any less confidence in the COVID shot than I do the flu vaccine or measles or anything else that the kids get vaccinated for.
Yeah,
it's part of keeping your family safe.
Yeah, and listen,
if you want to do it, fine, do it. If you don't want to do it, fine, do it. It's the same priority and same mentality that goes along with a mask.
Yeah,
you either believe in it or you don't.
Yeah,
you can. We've been doing this long enough that there are case studies now, and you can find doctors on both sides of this that will tell you it's totally worthless, means nothing, it's a piece of fabric. On the other side, you got these other people that sit there and go, oh, no, any kind of protection is better than no protection. Okay, well...
Yeah, somewhere the truth is right. The truth is in there somewhere. And Bill, thanks for the call and thanks for hanging in there. I appreciate it. 239-479-5592. Again, so many things to unravel and unwrap with the governor yesterday, going after reporters who were like, why don't you take the vaccines? I'm 45 years old. Don't you get it? We know who the vulnerable are. We only have a limited supply right now of the vaccine. When you have people in the media locally who are saying things like, you see the lines of people that are waiting to get the vaccine and the concerns about places that are going to shut down for the holiday or that there's not enough right now because it's in limited supply. So those that need it should get it. Those over 65, we already know who are the individuals who are the priority for the vaccine. Don't you get it? There's a limited amount right now. Don't make it sound like somehow that they're holding it back from everybody. Right? Do you get that impression? I get the feeling sometimes when I hear some of the media and I read some of the media that's out there, even locally, that y'all are making it sound like the governor's holding it back, like he's got a whole big stash that's sitting there and he's not going to give it to the citizens of the state of Florida. Look at these. Look at how outrageous this is that you see people that are lined up, or you see situations where it's a holiday and they're going to have to. Do you understand that there is a process? Do you understand that there's a limited supply, that they're trying their best to get it out as judiciously and with great speed as they possibly can do it. And at the same time, there has to be a process, and we want to make sure that those that are the most vulnerable get it. And that a governor who's 45 years old, who feels like, listen, I want this 65, 75, the 85-year-old to get it first because we're in limited supply. Do you not understand that? Or do you just go after the governor because you have an agenda and you don't want a Republican governor and you've had a problem with him since day one and you're frustrated that you live in a community, Southwest Florida, that is mostly Republicans and conservatives, and that frustrates the heck out of you because you feel like that's not fair. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not the case at all. But again, when you have people that are going after the governor, and maybe next hour I'll talk more about this, about how there is a documentary filmmaker, a liberal documentary filmmaker, that is doing a story going after Ron DeSantis that is criticizing him like crazy, calling him the scoundrel of the year, and writing this story that was posted in the New Republic, not exactly a conservative. It's not conservative at all. And just going after him, tearing him apart. For what? For all of these things that are imagined. Talking about overseeing 4 times the number of deaths of COVID-19 as the state lost to the Civil War, only halfway through his first term as someone who will do nothing to jeopardize his chances of becoming president. Really? Yeah. How's New York doing? How's Michigan doing? Illinois, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, D.C., California. We have the lowest death rate per capita than any of those states. We're not even in the top 20. No. It's all the governor. It's all his fault. Do you understand? We are in a position right now where this is it's go time, everybody. As much as we still want to talk about 2020 and the concerns about election integrity and what happened yesterday in Georgia that we're going to get to coming up, and the fact that, is it true that someone was able to live hack into a voting machine there in Georgia because it wasn't supposed to be connected to Wi-Fi, but somehow they were able to connect to the machines? That's an issue, right? that even though we can focus on that, we also have to understand that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is one of the heroes of 2020. He gets it. We all know how the state of Florida is doing. Like the reality on the ground, not the media telling us how awful it is and every day pushing numbers at us as if it's a disaster when we all know the truth because we live here. So, 239-479-5592. Kevin's in Fort Myers. Mark's in Cape Coral. We've got an open line right now if you want to join us on this New Year's Eve morning. And listen, I will talk about anything. You can take me in any direction you want to today. I'm just in that kind of mood. Whatever you want to talk about, I'm game. Let's go. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Rush Limbaugh. Like most other Democrat-run cities, Seattle has housing problems. Prices are out of reach for both renters and buyers, and there is a big homeless problem. They're everywhere. So Seattle City Council's come up with an idea. They are proposing a new tax. The tax would only affect the largest businesses in the city, supposedly. On top of what they're already paying, these companies would be taxed another $500 per employee. The revenue would be used to fix the housing crisis, supposedly, except it won't because they can't. Seattle's existence demonstrates they can't and don't know what they're doing. Now, the plan was moving full steam ahead until Amazon announced it is immediately stopping construction on the new facility they're building downtown, which put 7,000 new jobs at risk. Amazon's decision caused panic to erupt in Seattle's liberal corridors of power. The mayor is alarmed. She says that she's talking to business and labor leaders, anybody she has to, in order to find common ground. But remember, Seattle just saw a bunch of jobs disappear when they imposed a so-called living wage on businesses. It closed a bunch of restaurants. And here they are again. You see, liberals never learn. There is no common ground to be found with these people. Jeff Bezos, hold your ground, buddy.
It's such a beautiful night. Look at the stars.
They're amazing. Did you know 20% of stars have planets orbiting them capable of sustaining life?
How did you know that? You must spend a ton of time reading.
Not at all. I use Blinkist.
Blinkist?
Yeah, it's an app that takes key insights from over 4,000 nonfiction bestsellers and gathers them into 15-minute blinks for you to read or listen to. With Blinkist, you can learn the main points of an entire book in just 15 minutes, as opposed to days or weeks.
What kind of books?
Nonfiction books in over 27 categories, from personal development to history, management, investing, philosophy, and more. Books like A Beautiful Mind, The 4-Hour Workweek, Freakonomics, and Sapiens. Blinkist makes it easy to learn about pretty much anything.
Like the stars?
Even the stars.
Right now, radio listeners get 25% off, plus 1 free week when you go to Blinkist.com/expand. To get this special offer, go to Blinkist.com/expand. That's Blinkist.com/expand.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News.
Pandemic, market drops, elections. Don't let the noise and fear distract you. Where do you go for clarity in uncertain times? For experienced advice on planning for retirement, tune in to Saving the Investor with Alfie Townsend, Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. or visit us at savingtheinvestor.com.
Water is life in Southwest Florida. It drives our economy from tourism to fishing to boating and quality of life. This is Adam Botana from Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, and we talk water for an hour every weekend on Fox News Radio. We feature guests on water quality, water safety, and water fun, including great boating day trips and tips on fishing. Join us this Saturday at 7 a.m. for the Baywater Exclusive Boat Club Hour with Adam Botana on 92.5 Fox News.
National Exterminators Theater presents The Godfather's Christmas Carol.
Wait, what's that? I must be dreaming.
Yeah, you're not dreaming, wise guy. It's me, Rats of the Rat.
I thought I whacked you a whiles back.
Yeah, I'm a ghost. Here to warn you and the boys at National Exterminators about some special visitors tonight.
Great. Now I may never get back to sleep.
Yeah, and what about me? Bugsy the Roach, the pest of Christmas past. Yeah, I'm gonna haunt you and the boys that rubbed me out too.
And remember us? The Anthill Mob. We're the ghosts of pests in the present. We'll be all over if you don't hire an exterminator.
And me, Godfather, Tony the Termite, the ghost of pests to come. I'm gonna chew up the place because you didn't hire National Exterminators.
I know this movie. It's just like a Christmas Carol. This can't be true. Because when me and the boys at National Exterminators rub you out, you stay out.
Your Christmas Carol doesn't have to be a nightmare. Call the boys at National Exterminators at 46 No Bug. That's 46 No Bug. And from the gang at National Exterminators, Merry Christmas.
Hi, this is John Lawrence with CGU Homes, residential contractor in Southwest Florida. As a Naples native, my childhood is full of memories, from fishing the backwaters of the Everglades to helping my dad with home improvement projects. Today, I have the pleasure of watching my kids grow up, enjoying the same way of life. At CGU Homes, we understand building a home is more than drawings and budgets. It's about building lifelong memories for you and your family. I've been in the residential construction industry for over 20 years and have had the luxury of handpicking my team. When it comes to my team, I look for passion, innovation, and trustworthiness. You can trust CGU Homes to build with honesty and transparency through every step of the building process. So when you're ready to start a new chapter for your family, whether it's remodeling your existing home or building a brand new one, I invite you to see some of our past projects and learn more about us at cguhomes.com. That's cguhomes.com. And God bless the USA.
When the unexpected comes calling, bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds of up to a gig. Bounce forward on a network that helps keep connected devices protected. To learn more, go to ComcastBusiness.com.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News. Collier County will start vaccinations this weekend. Vaccines are appointment only, but there are no spots left. The health department will vaccinate those of you who snagged a spot every day from Sunday to Friday, January 8th. The state-run testing site in Lee County is only open for one more day before the new year. CenturyLink Sports Complex closes today at noon. It'll be closed all day tomorrow for New Year's Day. The sites are back open on Saturday. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is in the process of opening a community outreach center in downtown Fort Myers. The center is going up along Main Street across from the Starbucks. A home opener postponed because of COVID-19. The FGCU men's basketball home opener games scheduled for tomorrow and Saturday will be postponed for a later date after a positive COVID-19 result. Because of the 14-day quarantine period, this will also impact the team's January 8th and 9th trip to Liberty. The official opener for the team will now be January 15th and 16th. Charlotte County gave out more than 200 vaccines in about 2.5 hours Wednesday. People scheduled an appointment and drove through the line to get their first shot in their car. Appointments are already booked until next week. A reminder for you ahead of New Year's Eve, purchasing and setting off fireworks is illegal in much of the state of Florida. Governor DeSantis signed off on a bill to allow it earlier in 2020. However, you will not be able to light fireworks on Naples beaches or at their parks either. Despite the signed bill, it does not override local regulations in place by the city of Naples. I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
Slowing traffic in Collier County. Shadow Lawn is slowing heading south to the East Trail. Also congestion on the East Trail heading east of Bayshore towards Airport Pulling. Airport Pulling looks great, making the northbound commute towards Immokalee Road. And we're actually up to speed on Immokalee Road all the way from 951 to the interstate. Should only take you about 4 minutes. There is a delay on 951, and this is just near Vanderbilt Beach as you're heading northbound. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For the final day of 2020, warm and breezy. Clouds and sunshine, a high temperature of 83 degrees. As we ring in the new year, forecast at midnight looks good with a temperature in the lower 70s. Now for the first day of 2021 for your New Year's Day, even close to records, it's going to be a warm one. High temperature of 85 degrees with a partly cloudy sky. 80s for your Saturday and breezy, then 70s on Sunday with a chance of rain and a cold front. And that's why we're going to be cooler, drier with a lot of sunshine into next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
Happy 2021 from Conditioned Air. A new year, a fresh start, and a good time to freshen up your air conditioning system and indoor air quality. With our Southwest Florida weather, it's a good idea to have your system cleaned and checked by a Conditioned Air technician at least twice a year. Left unattended, small issues become big issues. Cars need regular maintenance, so do air conditioning systems. Conditioned Air, the comfort people since 1962. 1-888-COLD-AIR and online at conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list. And in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Gary, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. License CCC 133-1790. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection.
We've been waiting for COVID-19 vaccines to be developed. Now, waiting for them to get to us. But you can do more than wait. You have powerful ways to help slow the spread right now and protect your family and loved ones too. Here's how. Watch your distance. Stay at least 6 feet away from folks you don't live with. It's risky to be indoors with them too. And of course, avoid crowds. Also, wear a mask. CDC reports masks protect the people who wear them and folks around them. And wash your hands using soap and water for 20 seconds. And do it frequently. Vaccines won't make COVID go away overnight, but they give us a real chance to finally overcome it. As long as we keep watching our distance, wearing our masks, and washing our hands.
Learn more about vaccines at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. That's the talk and text line. We stream live each and every day on YouTube. As long as they're going to keep doing it, who knows? At Drew Steele Radio. That is Steele with 3 E's, and you can subscribe to the channel. That's a good thing. It'll help to keep us going. And you can watch us on Facebook, both at Drew Steele Radio and Facebook.com/925 Fox News. Both locations, if you want to watch, we do appreciate it. So what did happen yesterday? What is this whole deal in Georgia with this Senate hearing? What exactly was going on when an expert witness claims that, hey, I don't know if you know this, but I'm kind of able to hack into the Georgia election voting machines. Is that a problem? Did that happen? Is that it's interesting only because you can't find this story hardly anywhere. And, I might even make the case, and I'll make this right now, and I'll play some of the audio, and then I'll explain. And I might even make the case that there are even conservative media outlets, can I say, there are people who don't even want to talk about it. They're just done. And I'll explain why in just a second. But it's out there. And, as we mentioned earlier, I'm one of those individuals, and I don't know how you are, and you can tell me, 239-479-5592. Listen, I'm just one of those individuals that believes that it ain't over until I can't say it because it's not PC, until the lady that sings who likes to dine often, it sings that whole thing. I mean, is that PC? Can I say that? Can I say until the fat lady sings? Is that did I just said it? I don't know. Can we come up with an alternative? I'll go with your alternative if you have something good. 239-479-5592. Maybe you want to call and you've got something that you've come up with. Maybe you just want to talk about something completely different because it's New Year's Eve morning and we're watching the sunrise and we're getting ready for a beautiful day where 2020 will quickly turn to 2021 overnight tonight. And how exciting is that going to be? Because COVID's going to be gone and we're going to have people getting along, dogs and cats getting along all over no. But I'm not trying to be, a downer here. I'm just trying to make everyone realize that, number one, I'm trying to figure out when is COVID over? Who decides? What is the point is at which the government and locally and statewide, everybody's going to go, all right, look, we know it. You're fine. Everything's cool. You're good. Or we're going to have ups and downs and spikes and roller coasters. And hey, listen, we got them to lock down the first time. Woo, man, talk about power. We've got it right here. And I'm holding up a tiny finger that I have. That's kind of bent. I don't know if you can see this. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see this right now. My this pinky's bent out. It's Jake, are you watching on YouTube right now? Maybe you're not. But if you,
yes, I am.
Oh, okay. Do you see it? Just take a look at my hand, and you'll see that my pinky's sort of bent off to the.
My pinky does the same thing.
Does it really? Okay, because I broke it as a kid 3 different times playing football. The same pinky. It just kept. It was like the first time I broke it. And I'll never forget when I broke it. It was exciting. And every single time it was cool. It's not cool. It's never cool to break a bone. I gotta stop that. Especially for the kids. That's not a good message. Kids, don't do drugs. But anyway, here's the thing. The first time I broke it, it was like a great play that I made. And I was super excited about how I stopped somebody. Then they were running for a touchdown and I caught him just in the right way, but it broke my pinky and it was like, and that stunk. And then the second time I did the same thing, another great play, and I broke it. And by the third time, it was just like, I go home and my mom's like, no, yeah, I did. Again? Yeah, I did it again. That kind of weird thing. But anyway.
So you retired because of a pinky injury?
No, I didn't retire. Well, I tore the ACL in my leg and I never had it repaired. And so I have no ACL in my left leg. It just doesn't exist. There's nothing. There's a big giant hole there. Doctor's like,
fall down randomly while
yeah, that's exactly. Doctor's like, you realize there's nothing. Yeah, I know. It's gone. So yeah, I got bigger issues than broken pinkies on this body. But we digress. So anyway, let's get back to it. So we have what we are told is an expert witness who said, hey, I just want to let you know that what happened was we got the state Senate, and it's a hearing to hear more about election integrity and the concerns about the Georgia runoff election. And the witness claimed in front of the state Senate that he hacked into the Georgia runoff election system, establishing two-way communication from a polling pad in a voting center. So here's the audio.
Working on this and our technology team's into it. And as was broke early in the week and last week about connected devices, at this very moment at a polling location in the county, not only do we now have access through the devices to the poll pad, the system, but we are in. And it's not supposed to have Wi-Fi, and that's not supposed to be able to happen. So we've documented now. It's communicating two ways in real time, meaning it's receiving data and sending data, should never happen, shouldn't be Wi-Fi. We've now documented it in real time so we can suck down the data. But that's going on right there where everybody's voting. And I just wanted to get it into the record.
All right, so into the record. So there it is. So while they're talking about the concerns about election integrity and they're talking about the concerns about the voting there in Georgia and the recount and the concerns that they have about the machines and the concerns that they have about even the ballots, which apparently they went on yesterday to talk about how the ballots have codes there and the codes don't match. The barcodes don't match, where there's a target on your ballot and the machine sees the target and it lines up with the target. And when it lines up with the target, it's supposed to have barcodes next to it that also coincide with that ballot being approved. But then they showed that there were some that were that the barcodes were different, completely different. Like how is that the case? That means that the machine, in what they were explaining, is that means that the machine would not sync up with the ballot, which means that it would have to be adjudicated. Adjudicated meaning that it would have to go to a person and they would have to look at the ballot and then be able to say what it is and isn't. And yeah, that's not how it's supposed to work that way, because that's how things start to get a little odd. So I could play more audio from that. I can play more audio and explain more from Georgia and yesterday and how it's a big deal. If that is true and it's on the record and they have a record and recorded the fact that these machines that supposedly are not able or not on a system that can be accessed via Wi-Fi could be accessed via Wi-Fi, that's something that should be investigated, right? And ultimately, you have people like Rudy Giuliani, who yesterday was there talking about it as well, and really making kind of the ultimate point in all of this.
There are 10 ways to demonstrate that this election was stolen, that the votes were phony, that there were a lot of them, dead people, felons, phony ballots, phony mail-in ballots. How is it that in every single Republican county in this state senators ran ahead of the president by 4 to 6%?
He goes on to describe some of those issues, and then he talks about really the bottom line.
And forget the criticism. You know what the right thing to do is. You've seen the evidence. You know what the law is. And I implore you to do the right thing.
That's the bottom line. He wants people to do the right thing. You got to stop it. Otherwise, it'll continue to happen in America, and it's going to get worse. Now, that's the bottom line. In all of this, that is the bottom line. That in Georgia, when Rudy Giuliani and the Trump team and they are able to be there and present to anybody who's watching and who's willing to watch and pay attention and be able to show that this is happening, that you have explosive testimony in front of the Georgia State Senate Committee, a subcommittee, claiming that one Fulton County voting machine is connected to the internet when it's not supposed to be. And a lot of questions were asked, and even questions about the ballots themselves and how all of this can be manipulated. You have to have people brave enough to, number one, try to go after this and find out whether it's true or not. Not fact checkers that are brought in by people like Twitter and Facebook and other places where we're told that they're checking the facts and only to find out that they're really not. They're just like everybody else on the left who's trying to put out a narrative for half the country to make it look like you're crazy for even bringing it up. That they're really just activists. But you need reporters and you need journalists. I know I use that word and it's like, that they even exist. To go out and find out if this is true or not, number one. Number two, you need lawmakers. You need people that are in charge who are willing to stand up and take all the slings and arrows and are ready to deal with the consequences on the other side. Which, by the way, the consequences would be the Constitution and the rule of law. That is what would be on the other side of this if this is true, regardless of what happens in this country. What do you want? Do you want to uphold the Constitution and the rule of law? Or are you worried about cities burning and being destroyed because people didn't get what they wanted to because they were found out, they were discovered, if that's the case? It's one or the other. And so with all of that incriminating the facts that emerge from that hearing and everything that's there, that's the bottom line. You've got to have people that are willing to stand up. Paul's in Naples, and Paul wanted to weigh in on Georgia a little bit, so I'd love to hear your thoughts. 239-479-5592. Go ahead, Paul. What do you think?
Good morning. Good morning. I tell you what, I used to live in Cobb County, and I have a friend who lives down by where University of Georgia is, near Athens. And when I wrote him a Christmas card, I asked him about the political scene in his area before the vote takes place on the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
This is what he wrote back. What a year this has been. I'm quoting now his writing. What a year this has been. You asked about the political scene here. Well, we received 3 ballots to vote in addition to receiving a ballot for the last person who owned a home that I now own. We absolutely believe there was nothing but fraud in this election. And that's what I wanted to tell you about.
Yeah, well, I do appreciate that, Paul, there in Naples. Thank you so much. People who are still concerned. And again, it's not until the lady sings. Why don't we just say the lady sings? Because I just want to be PC. Mark's in Cape Coral. What did Mark want to say in Cape Coral? Hello there, Mark.
I think we should call her the fun-sized lady.
Goodbye, Mark. 239-479-5592. That's not nice. Let's not do this.
Better than fat lady.
Well, let's not do this. Let's not do either one. It's not over, everybody. I guess that's the point. Just for me. I need everything to be followed through. I need more than for you to tell me to move on. And I mentioned this before, and it hurts my heart to say it, but it's true. That there are many Republicans that are moved on. There are some conservative outlets that have moved on, that want to move on, that don't want to go any further with this. And I don't know what they're afraid of. I guess they're afraid of the consequences, which would be one side of the country doing what they did all 2020 long, looting, rioting, burning, destroying, doxing. So that's the new norm now. So now when you know that somebody is going to burn your streets down, there's no arguing any point that they make anymore. So is that the country that we are? I think that's an honest question. Is that the country that we are? So we are now a country where we know that the left in this country will tear down, destroy, burn, loot, do a dox, find out where you live, and so on. And so because of all of those threats and because of all of that now, if they say, yep, Joe Biden's the president of the United States and you need to move on, and if even you discover that constitutionally we've got some issues, that constitutionally that this should be turned around, that there's a possibility that it will be, and I'll talk about that too, and how many people are asking about, again, Mike Pence and what's going to happen there, and whether or not January 6th matters, and we'll get into more detail coming up in just a few more minutes on that. That even if we come to find out constitutionally that you were right, and even if we come to find out through journalism that supposedly still exists, that yes, voter fraud exists and it did happen, and I'm just giving you this scenario. So if you're any of the fact checkers or you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, calm down. This is just a scenario. It's not me saying it. It's a scenario, okay? So don't pull down the content like you did last week's show. That if we find all of this out and it's true, yeah, that's not the result that we want, so we're going to burn it down. Are you following me? That's the country that half of you want to live in. Either half of you or the 672 million people that voted for Joe Biden this time, just astronomical numbers for Joe Biden, you think that the country you want to live in, it's better for you to live in a country that could find out through journalism, through reporting, through investigation, and find out that there was an issue, and then constitutionally that there's a remedy for this, and we can fix this. And let's just say it means that Donald Trump will be president of the United States for another 4 more years because that's the right thing to do. That your answer to that is that if we find that out, that that's not good enough and we're going to tear it down. That's the country you want to live in. That's just a fact. Tell me I'm wrong. Where am I wrong? Please, I'm asking you. I know there are liberals that listen to this program. I know there are Democrats that listen to this program. One and the same. Tell me where I'm wrong. That's the country you want to live in. That the bullies rule and those that will destroy win and those that will dox your home are the ones that should have the power. Not me. I don't even think the fat lady sings for that one. Oh gosh, I did it again. All right, we got to figure something else out, I can say. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here is Sabrina Katz.
The crash at Cypress Lake Drive in Summerlin causing southbound congestion on Summerlin. Also, there's an eastbound slowdown on College Parkway heading to Whiskey Creek Drive. Whiskey Creek is also very congested heading southbound to College Parkway. Busy morning on Summerlin. If you're heading southbound of Boy Scout, also delays on US 41 heading south towards Fowler. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News next.
Wink Weather Authority.
83 degrees for the final day of 2020. Clouds and sunshine, breezy weather with that high temperature of 83. Then as we hit midnight, pretty comfortable, 70 degrees is expected. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/news. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, it's Jake DeMolino here from Daybreak to talk about AMCO of Bonita Springs. Everyone's been affected by the pandemic, and I was definitely no exception. But here's the thing. I had an issue, a well-known issue. Kevin and Todd came to the rescue, effectively giving me my life back. They put their expertise to work on my transmission that was completely shot. His master mechanic told me that it was probably the worst transmission he's seen in his 30 years of working. And let me tell you, he knocked it out of the park. He helped me, and I'm sure he can help you as well. AMCO of Bonita Springs has been trusted in Southwest Florida since 2008. They've been through pandemics, recessions, you name it. They're located right off of Burnwood Drive in Bonita, an independent, conservative AMCO dealer whose award-winning customer service speaks for itself. They work on all makes and models, and they don't just do transmissions. They can do oil changes, normal maintenance, tires, you name it. For those of you out there with classic cars, there's no one I could trust more than Kevin and Todd with something I know you cherish and is so near and dear to you. So give Kevin and Todd a call at AMCO of Bonita Springs, 239-992-2626, 239-992-2626. A big thank you from Jake DeMolino for AMCO Bonita Springs.
We've been waiting for COVID-19 vaccines to be developed. Now, waiting for them to get to us. But you can do more than wait. You have powerful ways to help slow the spread right now and protect your family and loved ones too. Here's how. Watch your distance. Stay at least 6 feet away from folks you don't live with. It's risky to be indoors with them too. And of course, avoid crowds. Also, wear a mask. CDC reports masks protect the people who wear them and folks around them. And wash your hands using soap and water for 20 seconds. And do it frequently. Vaccines won't make COVID go away overnight, but they give us a real chance to finally overcome it. As long as we keep watching our distance, wearing our masks, and washing our hands.
Learn more about vaccines at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
We believe in better. A better way to invest, a better way to serve you, and a better result. We can help you determine how much risk you're taking, red flags that could be potential problems for you, how much you're paying in fees or commissions, potential tax liability, or even how to address Social Security.
Tune into WealthWorks Radio with Eric Carney, Saturdays at 6 a.m., Sundays at 9 a.m., right here on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Duncan's Diamonds After Christmas Sale, where you will find unbelievable diamonds and fine jewelry at huge savings. Going on right now at Duncan's Diamonds After Christmas Jewelry Sale. Come see this enormous selection of engagement rings and wedding bands at Duncan's Diamonds now through New Year's Day. Find the largest collection of diamond earrings, bracelets, and necklaces. Amazing savings. When selecting your diamonds and fine jewelry, you absolutely want them to be perfect. Why settle for anything less than the best? For top quality and exceptional value, visit Duncan's Diamonds today and save. It's the perfect time to shop Duncan's Diamonds with great 4-year financing plans, and we're open New Year's Day for your convenience. Come and celebrate your love with us and go into the new year with a little more sparkle. Happy New Year from all of us at Duncan's Diamonds. Believe in love. 3 locations: Fort Myers on US 41, Naples at Mercado, and Gulf Coast Town Center.
Water is life in Southwest Florida. It drives our economy from tourism to fishing to boating and quality of life. This is Adam Botana from Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, and we talk water for an hour every weekend on Fox News Radio. We feature guests on water quality, water safety, and water fun, including great boating day trips and tips on fishing. Join us this Saturday at 7 a.m. for the Baywater Exclusive Boat Club Hour with Adam Botana on 92.5 Fox News.
Happy 2021 from Conditioned Air. A new year, a fresh start, and a good time to freshen up your air conditioning system and indoor air quality. With our Southwest Florida weather, it's a good idea to have your system cleaned and checked by a conditioned air technician at least twice a year. Left unattended, small issues become big issues. Cars need regular maintenance, so do air conditioning systems. Conditioned Air, the comfort people since 1962. 1-888-COLD-AIR and online at conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
Officials in California say a local man in his 30s with no recent travel history tested positive for this new strain. This as officials in Colorado are investigating a second suspected case of the new strain. Scientists in the UK say the new strain known as B117 is more contagious than identified strains, but not more severe.
Fox's Jackie Ibanez. Meanwhile, authorities in Massachusetts are warning about scammers offering to bump folks to the head of the vaccination line in exchange for their credit card info.
Look to your government leaders, community leaders, the CDC, your doctors. Rely on those people when it comes to vaccine information and don't be scammed.
State Attorney General Maura Healey. America is listening to Fox News.
This Wink News Break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News. Collier County will start vaccinations this weekend. Vaccines are appointment only, but there are no spots left. The health department will vaccinate those of you who snagged a spot every day from Sunday to Friday, January 8th. The state-run testing site in Lee County is only open for one more day before the new year. Century Lake Sports Complex closes today at noon. It'll be closed all day tomorrow for New Year's Day. The sites are back open on Saturday. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is in the process of opening a community outreach center in downtown Fort Fort Myers, a center is going up along Main Street across from the Starbucks. A home opener postponed because of COVID-19. The FGCU men's basketball home opener games scheduled for tomorrow and Saturday will be postponed for a later date after a positive COVID-19 result. Because of the 14-day quarantine period, this will also impact the team's January 8th and 9th trip to Liberty. The official opener for the team will now be January 15th and 16th. Charlotte County gave out more than 200 vaccines in about 2.5 hours Wednesday. People scheduled an appointment and drove through the line to get their first shot in their car. Appointments are already booked until next week. A reminder for you ahead of New Year's Eve, purchasing and setting off fireworks is illegal in much of the state of Florida. Governor DeSantis signed off on a bill to allow it earlier in 2020. However, you will not be able to light fireworks on Naples beaches or at their parks either. Despite the signed bill, it does not override local regulations in place by the city of Naples. I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
The crash at Cypress Lake Drive in Summerlin causing southbound congestion on Summerlin. Also, there's an eastbound slowdown on College Parkway heading to Whiskey Creek Drive. Whiskey Creek is also very congested heading southbound to College Parkway. Busy morning on Summerlin. If you're heading southbound of Boy Scout, also delays on US 41 heading south towards Fowler. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For the final day of 2020, warm and breezy, clouds and sunshine, a high temperature of 83 degrees. As we ring in the new year, forecast at midnight looks good with a temperature in the lower 70s. Now, for the first day of 2021 for your New Year's Day, even close to records, it's going to be a warm one. High temperature of 85 degrees with a partly cloudy sky. 80s for your Saturday and breezy, then 70s on Sunday with a chance of rain and a cold front. And that's why we're going to be cooler, drier with a lot of sunshine into next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Thrust all along.
You want a new look for your kitchen, but you really dread the thought of subjecting your home and family to the mess and fuss created by weeks of remodeling? Cornerstone Builders has the solution. They can give your kitchen an entirely new look in a matter of days, not weeks. Stand by for the phone number to schedule your free in-home consultation. Cornerstone will save you a lot of time and thousands of dollars with a custom kitchen reface. This 4-step process includes 15 cabinet doors, 5 drawer fronts, and includes relaminating your cabinet exteriors, plus new hinges and new knobs or handles. Best part? The price. Just $38.20 for a beautiful thermofoil reface or $78.20 for maple wood reface. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation. 239-332-3020. That's 332-3020. 239-332-3020. Cornerstone Builders in Fort Myers, Naples, and Marco Island. With 30 years and 22,000 satisfied customers. You know they're gonna wow you.
Happy holidays from Collier County Government. In Collier County, trash, recycling, and yard waste will be collected on Friday, January 1st, New Year's Day. The county landfill and the Immokalee Transfer Station will also be open on New Year's Day. Recycling drop-off centers will be closed on Friday, January 1st. Reduce, reuse, and recycle throughout the holidays. Reuse or recycle cardboard boxes, holiday cards, and wrapping paper. Did you get new electronics as gifts? Be sure to recycle or donate the old ones. When it's time to recycle the live Christmas trees, residents with curbside collection may place trees at the curb on their yard waste collection day. Remove all decorations and cut trees over 6 feet in half. If you live in a condo or apartment, bring your tree to a Collier County Recycling Drop-Off Center for free disposal. For recycling drop-off center locations, hours of operation, and other holiday recycling tips, visit colliercountyfl.gov/recycle or call 252-7575. Have a happy and safe holiday season. And remember, reduce, reuse, and recycle. Happy holidays.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Pass the House bill
All right. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. All right, make that stop. All right. Chuck and Nancy. That's quite a song there. We've known about Chuck and Nancy for many, many decades. We've known about Chuck and Nancy together. Nancy talking about not building the wall. Chuck and Nancy talking about, we got to do something when it comes to this, the $2,000 and the stimulus money, and then Mitch McConnell's putting it together along with some of the other things that the president wants, and so now it stalls. And listen, we can go back and forth about this all day long, and I'm going to get to your calls in just a second. But suffice to say that I've said this at the beginning of the week, made some people upset, but I understand. I don't want anybody to get any stimulus money. I want people to go back to work. I want people to get back to work and back to their lives and to be able to do what they were doing before. Do you remember what was going on before? Do you remember how the economy was? Especially Julie Kelly, who wrote about this in AM Greatness, and her story about the heroes, villains, and victims of the 2020 horror show. Record low unemployment, rising wages, strong stock market buoyed the outlook for business owners and consumers alike. The president earned all-time high approval ratings following the Democrats' impeachment farce. In February 2020, Republicans enjoyed a 7-point lead over Democrats in party affiliation, an advantage the GOP hadn't seen in at least 15 years. The Democratic presidential primary field was a clown show. Party elders publicly worried that none of the candidates could prevail over President Trump in November, and then you've got the rest. So again, I'd like to get back to that again. Certainly there are individuals that need the money now. That money doesn't last forever, and it's all temporary until we get back to work. So it would be nice if we could just focus on those that need it instead of giving people that don't have a need for it, that have been working and have been just fine. And a lot of them are in the state of Florida. It's interesting how we're told the state of Florida is a horrible place to be. But boy, there's a lot of people moving here from places like California and New York. California, which has some of the strictest lockdown measures going on, and yet they have the most cases right now. No, we can't talk about that. Hey, can we focus on Ron DeSantis? Because that guy's bad. All right. 239-479-5592. Whatever you want to talk about this morning, would love to hear from you. Maybe it has to do with Josh Hawley, someone who has said, listen, I'm going to challenge the Electoral College. Somebody has to do it, and he's ready to step up in the process, a process that has to be taken along with someone in the House in order for there to be a chance to explore and look at some of the possibility of questions of an election integrity, as he mentioned.
We need an investigation into fraud. We need election reform measures to be passed. I've introduced bills, can't get a vote on them. So something has to change here, and this is my opportunity on January 6th to bring these issues to the fore.
Yep, because he's going to bring it to the floor. So he is ready to challenge, he says, Senator Josh Hawley. And
Democrats have done this in the past. They've done it for years, House and Senate. So Republicans are certainly entitled now to raise these concerns and to do that as part of this process.
Yeah, and let's remember what the process is. And we talked about it for the past couple of days, the process, and I'll explain once again how January 6th is going to work. A lot of people here in Southwest Florida making their way to Washington, D.C. for January 6th. The president that we are told, listen, if the president really cared or really thought January 6th was going to matter, then why is he at Mar-a-Lago? Why is he got... Oh, guess what? Yeah, newsflash, he's heading back to D.C. I wonder why. Josh Hawley officially stating he's going to object to the Electoral College vote, and hopefully this will encourage other senators to do the same thing. That's where some of the problem comes in. We already know on the House side there will be some challenges to the Electoral College. So what happens January 6th? And again, to try to do some kind of overview on this, to understand what is going on. And if Josh Hawley is joined by several senators who refuse to certify the Electoral College votes, then there is a chance that what I'm going to describe could move forward. Peter Svob's piece in the Epic Times talks about this, and the 12th Amendment to the Constitution, the primary authority for events on January 6th. The Electoral Count Act is the one thing that people are looking at, which is U.S. Code 3, Section 15. it plays a role, and I'll explain how. It may or may not play a role because it could very well be unconstitutional if it is taken up in a very specific way. So under the 12th Amendment, the president of the Senate, who's Mike Pence, opens the certificates sent from the states, quote, and the votes shall then be counted, unquote. Right? That is the 12th Amendment to the Constitution. That's all it says. And Mike Pence, as his role as vice president, gets to count the votes. Meanwhile, what was enacted in 1887, which is this U.S. Code 3, Section 15, talks about details for conducting the count, says that members of Congress can object. If one House member and one senator objects, that triggers a separate vote about the objection by both the House and the Senate. If both the House and Senate agree that there's a problem, then the challenged electoral votes are gone. Now, will we see multiple people who will be willing to challenge on the House and Senate side? The House you may see, but the House is not going to go anywhere. It's in Democrat control, Democrat hands, so that's not going to be part of the equation. It's out of the equation. So it really is about senators. So what will senators do? Are we going to have people like Mitt Romney and Susan Collins and others, people that don't exactly love the president of the United States, siding with all of this? Because ultimately you're going to have to get them on board in order to make something happen. As we've seen, courts have punted on the question of fraud, effectively denying due process of law, not just for Trump, but to every Trump voter. All of us are affected when people in the Supreme Court and justice and judges across the country decide that they don't want to have anything to do with this because, you know, the left is crazy and they'll tear the place down if we do this. Does that make sense? If you're a Democrat, that's your world. Your world is, I get to be proud of my party, a party and a left-leaning party that if they don't get what they want, they will loot and destroy and burn down, even if what they're looting and destroying about has to do with upholding the Constitution and the rule of law. That is a fact. You may not like to hear it, but that's a fact. Okay, so what happens next? So under the 20th Amendment, the vote takes place. This vote that would happen... Okay, I'm skipping over, so let me just do this. That you have the House and the Senate, and they're both going to have to be able to vote on this, and they're both going to have to agree, and you're going to see that the Democrats are going to get the House, but you're going to have the Senate vote in a simple majority to do this. And I think that's where everything stalls, and that's what the problem is. If Senator Hawley's lead is agreed by a majority, a simple majority of senators, we're in good shape. And if that happens, under the 12th Amendment, there is no elected president, and the matter returns not to the full House, but to a single representative from each state. Remember, that's how it breaks down, and then Trump wins. There are more details that I can dig into, and I'm just going to put that aside only because I don't know how we get past that point. Let's remember something, that you would hope and pray that you would have senators that would get it, that would understand. And after all of the debates and hours of debates that we will see on January 6th, because it's going to happen, that there will be people that will feel the pressure from our side, the constitutionalists, the people that believe in the Constitution and the rule of law, and they'll feel the pressure enough that they will side with the Constitution and the rule of law on this. But if they don't, all bets are off. And you tell me whether or not you think people like Mitt Romney and Susan Collins and others who are not fans of Donald Trump would be willing to sign off on another 4 years with their names on it, being the individuals who helped this move along. It's all about courage. It's all about the Constitution and the rule of law. And if you are missing one of those three from an individual who believes in those three things, if you're missing just one, then you're out. That's what I'm afraid of. And I'm not saying it's over. Don't get me wrong. For me personally, this program, this show, this person right here that you're looking at on YouTube right now, streaming live on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe. And on Facebook and at Drew Steele Radio and 925 Fox News. Both. That's where I am. All right. Let's go to a few. We got a couple calls. Let's see. Steve's in Fort Myers. Let's see what Steve in Fort Myers has to say this morning. Hello there, Steve-O. Is Steve gone? Oh, he dropped. Okay. All right. Mark's in L.A. Let's see what Mark has to say this morning. I have no idea. Let's find out.
Morning, Drew.
Good morning, sir. What's on your mind?
Well, Drew, I wanted to know if you could use your sources, or maybe you are smart enough that you already know you are the smartest guy on your radio show.
Thanks.
Did Kamala Harris did she officially resign her Senate seat yet?
Did she officially resign? Yeah.
She has officially resigned, given up her Senate seat.
That's an interesting question. I would assume so. Yeah. I have to be Mark. I've got to be honest. I wish I could tell you I know in confidence, but I don't. I think like many other people, I've made that assumption. I may not be the smartest person that's on your radio right now. How about that? So your suggestion, all right, so let me get this straight. So your suggestion is that she hasn't given up her Senate seat yet because of the fact that they're...
what's up?
Go ahead.
She knows what's up. She knows what's going on, what's taking place. She's a little nervous about not having a job at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, as the New York Times was putting it, no, it's not unusual that Kamala Harris is still in the Senate. But she hasn't given up her seat. And, it's about more than a Senate seat. The question of who will be chosen as California's next senator is a battle between, a bunch of different people, according to the New York Times. Black and Latino representation, that's what it is. And so, yeah, I guess to that point... we are told, we're told California, Gavin Newsom appointed on the 22nd, there you go, Secretary of State Alex Padilla as the state's next U.S. senator to fill the seat being vacated by Kamala Harris. So there you go. There's your answer. Yeah, it's being filled.
Well, being filled is a lot different than her actually officially resigning it. And a couple of weeks ago, there was a report that she had not yet resigned her Senate seat.
Yeah. So so that seat is temporarily being filled, and then I'm assuming there's going to be a special a runoff for the seat? Yeah. So there'll be a runoff for the seat next year, I would assume. And so that's the way it's going to break down. But I get what you're saying, and thanks for the call, Mark. I appreciate it. He's thinking, hey, listen, might want to hold on to that Senate seat and not officially give it up because I might have to go back. Hey, I like her way of thinking. How about that? Here, you want to go back? Hey, the VP slot is not everything it's cracked up to be. I mean, you're always the second that's mentioned. You don't get the sweet place to live, and maybe we can talk her out of it. It's like, wait, I don't get to live in. No, you don't think you live in this. Whatever. All right, 239-479-5592 is the talking text line. That was a great question, though. All right, I appreciate that, Mark in L.A. All right, and I appreciate you calling right now, 239-479-5592. It's time right now for Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. It is the special New Year's Eve morning edition of Drew's College. You're not going to believe how special this is. It's incredible. It's just today. It's not. Tomorrow's going to be a lot like today. I don't know what the weather's going to be like, but situationally it'll be. All right, let's take caller number 3 at 239-479-5592. And let's find out what's happening right now with traffic up to the minute. Here's Sabrina Katz.
some good news for the New Year's Eve commute this morning. If you are heading on I-75, we're good to go all the way from Charlotte to Collier County. Now, there is a delay in Fort Myers on Daniels Parkway, and this is heading eastbound towards 6 Mile. Also still seeing a crash at Summerlin and Cypress Lake with southbound delays on Summerlin for less than a quarter mile. Tap on the brakes as well on Cypress Lake. For a crash-free commute, you can always hop over to College Parkway. It's up to speed heading to 41. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
83 degrees for the final day of 2020. Clouds and sunshine, breezy weather with that high temperature of 83. Then as we hit midnight, pretty comfortable, 70 degrees is expected. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News.
When you're looking for a career change, what's important to you? Health insurance, dental, vision, wages, working conditions, paid time off, or an opportunity for growth? My Shower Door offers all of these, plus more. For the past 5 years, My Shower Door has continued to grow throughout Florida, and this growth requires top candidates. If you or someone you know is interested in making a career change, apply at myshowerdoor.com/careers and take that first step towards your new career path.
Pool need a checkup? Call the doctor, the Pool Doctor.
Hi, Dr. Mark here. Is your pool a pain to operate? Automation is the answer. Use your phone to turn on your spa and it'll be warm when you get home. Free on-site evaluations. We're a family company, and for over 40 years, we've been doing business right.
The prescription is the Pool Doctor for award-winning pool service, repairs, and unheard of $39 diagnostic calls. That's mypooldoctor.com or 239-574-1133. State certified CPC 057088.
Sometimes in business, the unexpected comes calling. From rent increases to increased orders to, I'm going to say it, unprecedented times. But don't bounce back. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds up to a gig, with the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks, and with security solutions that help keep your connected devices protected. Be fast, be flexible, be ready for what's next, and bounce forward with Comcast Business. Help your business to bounce forward with this amazing offer. Get a powerful and reliable internet and voice solution from Comcast Business, starting at $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Offer ends 1/3/2021. Restrictions apply. Limited to new Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and one voice mobility customers. Early termination fee applies. Enrollment in EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, installation, taxes, and fees extra, subject to change.
Hi, this is John Lawrence with CGU Homes, residential contractor in Southwest Florida. As a Naples native, my childhood is full of memories, from fishing the backwaters of the Everglades to helping my dad with home improvement projects. Today, I have the pleasure of watching my kids grow up, enjoying the same way of life. At CGU Homes, we understand building a home is more than drawings and budgets. It's about building lifelong memories for you and your family. I've been in the residential construction industry for over 20 years and have had the luxury of handpicking my team. When it comes to my team, I look for passion, innovation, and trustworthiness. You can trust CGU Homes to build with honesty and transparency through every step of the building process. So when you're ready to start a new chapter for your family, whether it's remodeling your existing home or building a brand new one, I invite you to see some of our past projects and learn more about us at cguhomes.com. That's cguhomes.com. And God bless the USA.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Mick. Is it Mick in Fort Myers? Mick, or is it Nick?
It's Mick. It's Mick, like Jagger Dundee or E.Y. Mouse.
So apparently you've had this question asked of you before.
Only a time or two.
All right, well, I can't tell. You're on the phone. You know how that works. All right, it's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics and more you get right. The higher the degree, we'll see if you're in a PhD. Your associate's degree question, sir, starts right now. Hey, do you remember who the vice president of the United States was in the year 2010?
In 2010, that would have been Joe Biden.
Yeah, it was. That is correct, sir. There you go. That is not a joke.
Not a joke.
Yeah, I know.
Got me an associate.
All right, so far, let's see if you get a bachelor's on this question. Who was the Speaker of the House before Nancy Pelosi?
That was Paul Ryan.
That was. All right, you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. In 1870, a cartoon, Thomas Nast, had this symbol. It was soon to become the Democrat Party symbol. What is it?
Oh, a donkey, a mule, or a jackass?
We can accept all three of those, right? Right, Jake? That is correct. Yeah, you don't get extra credit, but that was, we appreciate the effort. So that was a master's degree right there. That was good. All right, let's see if you get a PhD on this question. I need to know the three branches of government. What are the three branches of government? Tell me.
Executive, legislative, and judicial.
That is correct, sir. Well, look at you, Mick, like Jagger. And what is your favorite Mick Jagger song?
Oh, gosh, there's a tough one.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Yeah.
This isn't fair. I'd have to say Satisfaction.
No, the answer. No, I'm so sorry, Mick. The answer is Wild Horses. All right. Well, congratulations. Anyway, you got yourself a PhD. You did the best you could, and I do appreciate you playing today. And work on the Jagger stuff there because it's important.
I shall.
Okay. Thanks for the call, and thanks for playing. We do it every day, each and every day. 7:50. We do Drew's College. All right. More of your calls coming up. We'll talk more about Georgia and the Senate subcommittee hearing yesterday and what they discovered and what you're going to discover if you didn't hear about it coming up.
This is Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, Dave, what's going on with your sink? It's full of water.
Really slow to drain.
You tried all the...
Yes, I've tried all the...
Just asking.
Yeah, it gets worse and worse.
So maybe...
Now the downstairs sink is slow, too. I don't dare flush the toilet.
Dave?
What's the point of having running water if it doesn't run out again?
Dave...
I might as well give up on indoor plumbing completely, build an outhouse, and haul water up from the river in a bucket!
Dave! So what's the best case scenario?
Best case? Okay, I make one call, someone comes out and gets the water moving again, and things go back to normal.
That's best?
Well, yeah, but...
That's best. Best Home Services. They have 4 plumbing trucks standing by, waiting for last-minute calls.
Right now?
Right now.
I don't need to build an outhouse?
It's a little chilly this time of year.
GetBest.com. When something goes wrong, we're waiting.
Indoor plumbing is a miracle, isn't it?
Yeah, only when it's working.
Oh, man.
Most people that buy their own health insurance think once they have chosen their ACA plan during open enrollment, they're stuck for the year. This is simply not the case. You can change at any time, no problems. If you are fairly healthy and don't need mandated coverage like maternity, you can save 30 to 60% with Health Plan Network. Couples under 65 are saving $500 to $1,000 a month with better coverage. You owe it to yourself to see if you qualify for a better plan that can save you money with lower deductibles. Go to healthplannetwork.net to request a quote. That's healthplannetwork.net. Or call Tim Cooper, an expert with over 23 years experience, at 239-268-6712. That's 239-268-6712. Act now to see if you qualify to save 30 to 60%. Healthplannetwork.net. Sensible solutions.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by New South Window Solutions. Find them online at newsouthwindow.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News. Collier County will start vaccinations this weekend. Vaccines are appointment only, but there are no spots left. The health department will vaccinate those of you who snagged a spot every day from Sunday to Friday, January 8th. The state-run testing site in Lee County is only open for one more day before the new year. Century Lake Sports Complex closes today at noon. It'll be closed all day tomorrow for New Year's Day. The sites are back open on Saturday. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is in the process of opening a community outreach center in downtown Fort Fort Myers, a center is going up along Main Street across from the Starbucks. A home opener postponed because of COVID-19. The FGCU men's basketball home opener games scheduled for tomorrow and Saturday will be postponed for a later date after a positive COVID-19 result. Because of the 14-day quarantine period, this will also impact the team's January 8th and 9th trip to Liberty. The official opener for the team will now be January 15th and 16th. Charlotte County gave out more than 200 vaccines in about 2.5 hours Wednesday. People scheduled an appointment and drove through the line to get their first shot in their car. Appointments are already booked until next week. A reminder for you ahead of New Year's Eve, purchasing and setting off fireworks is illegal in much of the state of Florida. Governor DeSantis signed off on a bill to allow it earlier in 2020. However, you will not be able to light fireworks on Naples beaches or at their parks either. Despite the signed bill, it does not override local regulations in place by the city of Naples. I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
Some good news for the New Year's Eve commute this morning. If you are heading on I-75, we're good to go all the way from Charlotte to Collier County. Now, there is a delay in Fort Myers on Daniels Parkway, and this is heading eastbound towards 6 Mile. Also still seeing a crash at Summerlin and Cypress Lake with southbound delays on Summerlin for less than a quarter mile. Tap on the brakes as well on Cypress Lake. For a crash-free commute, you can always hop over to College Parkway. It's up to speed heading to 41. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For the final day of 2020, warm and breezy. Clouds and sunshine, a high temperature of 83 degrees. As we ring in the new year, forecast at midnight looks good with a temperature in the lower 70s. Now for the first day of 2021 for your New Year's Day, even close to records. It's going to be a warm one. High temperature of 85 degrees with a partly cloudy sky. 80s for your Saturday and breezy, then 70s on Sunday with a chance of rain and a cold front. And that's why we're going to be cooler, drier with a lot of sunshine into next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed mornings with Drew Stevens.
92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. At New South, we are determined to build the best Florida window. Energy-efficient windows that stand up to heat and hurricanes. We call it the ultimate Florida window. Factory direct and guaranteed for life. New South has installed tens of thousands of windows across the state and has been named one of the fastest growing window companies in the nation. And that is why we're New South proud.
Going on now. Save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
True relief for back and neck pain. Here at Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, we focus on back and neck related conditions like stenosis, sciatica, neuropathy, and bulging discs that can cause weakness, numbness, or pain. Being an innovator in non-surgical techniques, I have developed unique and extremely effective spinal decompression protocols for overcoming these chronic and debilitating conditions that don't involve any medications or surgery. This 3-step VaxD spinal decompression approach uses a patented computerized table that decompresses the spine to gently remove pressure off pinched nerves and increase blood circulation to the area. For young or old, and so comfortable that most patients almost fall asleep while on the table. No hanging upside down. With this award-winning technology, back and neck pain can be a thing of the past. We always offer a no-obligation consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
It's Aaron, former Army Green Beret, owner, Shoot Center Cape Coral. Around 1% of CCW permit holders do any further firearms training after getting their permit. Training can be inconvenient, but check out a gun range membership at Shoot Center. Annual memberships start at $29.99 a month, shooting's unlimited, and the first target is always free. Get your family comfortable with a firearm on your own terms, but please, don't wait till the last minute.
Shoot Center Cape Coral, just south of Escalon Del Prado.
Heard the good news about COVID-19 vaccines? Yeah, they're coming, but you can do a lot more than just wait. See, you have the power to help slow the spread. Actually, you could be a real difference maker and protect your family and loved ones, too. Here's how. Watch your distance. Stay at least 6 feet away from folks you don't live with. And it's risky to be indoors with them, too, no matter how far apart you are. And, of course, avoid crowds. Also, wear a mask. CDC reports that masks protect both the person wearing them and the folks around them from particles that carry the virus. And wash your hands, using soap and water for 20 seconds, and do it frequently. Watch your distance, wear a mask, and wash your hands. Simple, effective, and along with vaccines, they're how you can make a big difference.
Learn more about vaccines at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I am so glad you are here. 239-479-5592. There's the talk and text line. We stream live on YouTube for as long as they'll have us. At Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Subscribe to the channel. Watch on Facebook at 925 Fox News. You can watch on Facebook.com/Drew Steele Radio as well. We are all out there in all those locations. Well, me and Jake the Millennial, who's getting super excited about New Year's Eve tonight. I don't know what that means. There's all kinds of festivities that are being planned, but don't get too carried away because social distancing and masking, and we don't want to have too many people together, but we don't want too many people to be apart because we do want you to have fun, but not too much fun. Don't get too crazy, but hey, have a little bit of a drink or two, an adult beverage, but don't get too crazy. It just goes on and on. I don't know what that looks like. It's going to be an interesting look this year in a lot of different places around the world. We come to find out that in Australia, they're saying, no, don't go. No, they're not saying that. They're basically banning kissing and hugging on New Year's Eve, despite the fact that there's been no new cases of COVID in 2 months. That's what we're told is happening in Australia. We're told, listen, there's no new cases, nothing's going on, but we don't want you hugging and kissing because you never know. How does that work? And by the way, how do you enforce that? I don't know how that works either. We have the City of London. For liberals out there, that's in the UK. And London is quite the city that usually has, and I don't know about anybody else, but it is a tradition in the Steele household, and it has been since my son was younger. Now it's a little different, but when he was just a little babe, one of the things we would do is we would watch the fireworks on TV in London because it's always a big, huge extravaganza and the music and everything else. And it's fun to watch. And then we would do our own ball drop early because in this house, we pretty much go to bed early. So that's what we would do, especially on days when I'm going to work the next day. And so it was always fun to watch. And, the crowds, and it's cool. And having been there multiple occasions in that very area, so it's always fun to see. Now, having said that, this year is a little bit different because, of course, the crowds, you don't want the crowds. And so what are they going to do there in the UK? Well, if you are there or you decide that you want to watch, it turns out that they have some very special plans. They're doing these drones. So you ever see those? I don't know who else does it. I want to say like Disney does it, but they do these drones. Where they fly over in formation and they light up the sky and they make these cool shapes of birds and slices of pizza, and I don't know what else they do, but they do all of these different things. Well, that's what they did in the UK, and they pre-recorded the festivities there in London, and you're not gonna believe what one of the displays turns out to be by drones in the night sky there in the UK. You ready? You want to know? Is this from a Zero Hedge? In a display that will turn off the vast majority of the country, a light show involving 300 drones was recorded last night in London, featuring a celebration of the openly Marxist Black Lives Matter group, among other cringe-inducing messages, including a reference to online Zoom meetings. That's right. You'll see the Black Lives Matter drones there flying over the city of London because, well, I'll just leave it there. So, the left has an exquisite way of really destroying everything. It's amazing how when the left touches something, it ruins it. You ruin everything. You can't have anything nice. All of you liberals, you just can't. You ruin everything. You ruin fireworks displays. You ruin drones. You ruin movies. You ruin. I mean, how about we do this? Because maybe you don't even realize how much you ruin. 239-479-5592. On this New Year's Eve morning, why don't we do this? As we head into 2021, this might be a little bit of fun, and I'm looking at the phones. Why not call, and you can tell me, what else do liberals destroy? Pretty much everything they touch, they destroy, but let's just be specific about it, because, no, there's a very good reason for this. The only reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm thinking to myself, which is really weird because I'm talking to myself in my head, and it's like but anyway, I digress. 2021 should be a new year, a fresh start, right? Let's just, and we wake up tomorrow and we put 2020 behind us. I mean, everything from 12:01 on tomorrow is going to be different than 11:59 before. Everything. It's just going to be well, it's not. But hey, listen, if I can identify some of the things that the left destroys by touching it or being involved in it, then maybe we can stop it from happening into 2021, and we can create a brand new future where we all things are so bright we have to wear shades. See what I did there? Something like that. That was one awful song. I'm not going to lie. The future's so bright, I have to wear shades. I still can't get over that somebody is still making money off that song. You have no idea, for my musical history and being an EMI published music songwriter for 20 plus years, you have no idea how that hurts my heart. That song continues to make my, and I can't catch a break. I've caught a few breaks, but not as big as that one. It's frustrating at best. 239-479-5592. So maybe you'd like to contribute in the what has the left destroyed everything they touch. Elections. Hey, they destroy elections. There you go. I said it. The left destroys elections. How do they do it? Well, they're sneaky. They're shady. And one of the ways is voting machines. Everything's fine in Georgia. Nothing to see here. Move along. Everything is good. We don't have anything to worry about, even though yesterday a Georgia Senate Judiciary Subcommittee on Elections had the Trump team in, Rudy Giuliani, and some others that were describing, like Jovan Pulitzer, who is describing issues when it comes to mail-in ballots, an easy way to determine whether they're real or faked. Announcing during the hearing that his team has easily hacked into a voting system identical to the system used during the election, and then explain how the access could lead to changes in the voting system. But, we don't want to get too crazy because that's conspiracy theory. That's conspiracy talk. How dare you even bring that up? Well, I don't know. It sounded pretty convincing.
Technology teams into it, and as was broke early in the week and last week about connected devices, at this very moment at a polling location in the county, not only do we now have access through the devices to the poll pad, the system, but we are in. And it's not supposed to have Wi-Fi, and that's not supposed to be able to happen.
That's not supposed to be able to happen. He's saying at the very moment at a polling location right now, as he's speaking to people, not only do they have access through the devices to the poll pad, to the system, but they are in the system. I got something beeping behind me. Don't even worry about it. So nothing to see here. Move along. Everything is fine. Except for that beeping noise, which I've got. Hey, B, are you around? Here I am live on the air in my house. And is anybody home? Maybe somebody will come and shut that off. But anyway, so we're not supposed to worry about that. We can ignore that because, it's all conspiracy theory. Anybody want to investigate that at all? Anybody want to look into that at all? And the answer is no, because the left destroys everything that they touch. And when they touch it and it's destroyed, it's destroyed for good. And as a matter of fact, if you find out something about it that maybe you might want to question, because, there's a lot of journalists out there who are doing real journalism. I can't even say it with a straight face. that we can't even ask and we can't find out about this. It should be explained, right? We should examine this further. That happened yesterday, and some other of people that came on to discuss the fact that near the end of the hearing, details of the impossibility of vote subtraction in an honest election, and how that doesn't happen, but it happened to Trump. The statistical impossibility of precincts reporting more than 75% of votes for a single candidate, although 151 precincts reported over 90% of votes for Biden. Statistically, it's impossible for that to happen, but it happened, and nobody's worried about it. And the impossibly large number of votes adjudicated, and oh, by the way, and then they were destroyed. Hey, I don't know where they are. Nothing to see here. People, witnesses testifying to this fact. That they saw 113,000 votes were cast, 105,000 were adjudicated. Meaning that 105 out of 113 votes in one precinct there was a problem with. That doesn't happen every day, everybody. But you know what, though? It's everything the left touches. Move along, move along. There's nothing to see here. You're not even allowed to talk about it because the election's over, according to a lot of people. And we wouldn't want to have a situation where you'd question it and the truth would come out, and then we would go to the Constitution and there would be a remedy because our founders were geniuses, and then that remedy would have Donald Trump stay or be a reelected president of the United States for 4 more years, and we would have destruction like you could not believe on the streets of America. You wouldn't want that, would you? You wouldn't want to be the cause of that, would you? Yeah. So no worries, we move on. What about the heroes, villains, and victims of the 2020 horror show as put by Julie Kelly, the great Julie Kelly in American Greatness? The heroes, Ron DeSantis. We got some great audio coming up of Ron DeSantis, who completely gets it. He understands that at 45 years of age and knowing what he knows about COVID, he doesn't need the vaccine right now. It doesn't matter if he's a politician. There are people that are 65, 75, 85. They need it. We know what COVID is and isn't, and they need it, and he's willing to give his dose to somebody else who needs it. But no, that's not a hero to the left. That's somebody that needs to be destroyed, and somebody who, quite honestly, you got to chip away at best to damage him in the 2022 election for governor, and at worst have that damage be there when he wins, if he decides that he's going to be a presidential contender in 2024. She mentions people like Scott Atlas, the neuroradiologist and Hoover Institute fellow joining the coronavirus task force team. Proponent of more realistic approaches to COVID-19. And of course, because he had those realistic approaches like herd immunity, mask use, human toll on lockdowns, scientifically sound answers, you're not allowed to do that because Dr. Fauci is the guy. And that guy is, you wear a mask, you don't wear a mask. You should be this way, you shouldn't be that way. We know that it's this, we don't know that it's that. But that guy is a genius. The New York Post as a hero for publishing shocking information discovered about Hunter Biden's laptop. And of course, Twitter locks out the Post, but they keep up the fight, and good for them. That's the kind of journalism you're looking for. That's the kind of work that you're looking for, people that are not willing to give up. And there's more, and I would encourage you to check out this website. But at the same time, I would ask, it's Julie Kelly. Just go to amgreatness.com and you'll see the article there. You can imagine the villains. Andrew Cuomo is one of them, New York governor of 2020. I mean, do we have to describe what Andrew Cuomo not only did to the long-term care facilities and when it had to do with COVID, but also how he's destroyed the state? That's what liberals do. There's something that they touch. State governments. They touch the state government. It's destroyed. Pensions are underwater. What do? We've destroyed. Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we go to the federal government and they can bail us out? She mentions the Fauci, public health experts. A lot of experts out there. Not sure that they've always been right. And there's more. But safe to say that in 2020, we learned a lot. About ourselves, about the country. about who we want to be if you're on the right, and who you want to be if you're on the left, but also the sober reality that tomorrow is going to look a lot like today. The weather may be different, but politically and socially speaking, not a lot's going to change. But it could be the beginning of some big changes if you're willing to put in the effort and the work. And if you're listening to this program, I know that you are. That is a good thing. There are a whole lot of folks that are going to be heading out to D.C. on January 6th because they care about the rule of law and the Constitution, and they care about the integrity of our elections. They don't care who the president is. And good for them. Good for us. You know, there are people that care enough, like Julie Kelly and so many others, to put in the really tough work of putting out some great op-eds and some great articles and fantastic websites. People that really put in the work. And we are blessed to have individuals like that. And that's good, because they're not going to stop. So that is something that has to be recognized as well. Some of the heroes that I would add to her list are those that really put in the tough work of investigating and finding out details on some of the corruption and some of the things that have been happening in this country for way too long, and the things that we've been allowing to happen for way too long. And to have that stop. And again, that's a good thing leading into 2021. There are good things to look forward to if we're, like I said, willing to put the work in. 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News right all along, and we probably could go find out what's happening with traffic right now. Up to the minute. Here's Sabrina Katz.
Some good news for the New Year's Eve commute this morning. If you are heading on I-75, we're good to go all the way from Charlotte to Collier County. Now, there is a delay in Fort Myers on Daniels Parkway, and this is heading eastbound towards 6 Mile. Also still seeing a crash at Summerlin and Cypress Lake with southbound delays on Summerlin for less than a quarter mile. Tap on the brakes as well on Cypress Lake. For a crash-free commute, you can always hop over to College Parkway. It's up to speed heading to 41. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
83 degrees for the final day of 2020. Clouds and sunshine, breezy weather with that high temperature of 83. Then as we hit midnight, pretty comfortable, 70 degrees is expected. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel.
True Steel, weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
We believe in better. A better way to invest, a better way to serve you, and a better result. We can help you determine how much risk you're taking, red flags that could be potential problems for you, how much you're paying in fees or commissions, potential tax liability, or even how to address Social Security.
Tune into WealthWorks Radio with Eric Carney, Saturdays at 6 a.m., Sundays at 9 a.m., right here on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Water is life in Southwest Florida. It drives our economy from tourism to fishing to boating and quality of life. This is Adam Botana from Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, and we talk water for an hour every weekend on Fox News Radio. We feature guests on water quality, water safety, and water fun, including great boating day trips and tips on fishing. Join us this Saturday at 7 a.m. for the Baywater Exclusive Boat Club Hour with Adam Botana on 92.5 Fox News.
National Exterminators Theater presents The Godfather's Christmas Carol.
Wait, what's that? I must be dreaming.
Yeah, you're not dreaming, wise guy. It's me, Rats of the Rat.
I thought I whacked you a whiles back.
Yeah, I'm a ghost. Here to warn you and the boys at National Exterminators about some special visitors tonight.
Great. Now I may never get back to sleep.
Yeah, and what about me, Bugsy the Roach, the pest of Christmas past? Yeah, I'm gonna haunt you and the boys that rubbed me out too.
And remember us? The Anthill Mob. We're the ghosts of pests in the present. We'll be all over if you don't hire an exterminator.
And me, Godfather, Tony the Termite, the ghost of
pests to come. I'm gonna chew up the place because you didn't hire National Exterminators.
I know this movie. It's just like A Christmas Carol. This can't be true, because when me and the boys at National Exterminators rub you out, you stay out.
Your Christmas Carol doesn't have to be a nightmare. Call the boys at National Exterminators at 46 No Bug. That's 46 No Bug. And from the gang at National Exterminators, Merry Christmas.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/news. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Happy 2021 from Conditioned Air. A new year, a fresh start, and a good time to freshen up your air conditioning system and indoor air quality. With our Southwest Florida weather, it's a good idea to have your system cleaned and checked by a conditioned air technician at least twice a year. Left unattended, small issues become big issues. Cars need regular maintenance, so do air conditioning systems. Conditioned Air, the comfort people since 1962. 1-888-COLD-AIR and online at conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Hey, when we come back, top 5 audio clips of the day, the 5 at 8:35. Also, don't forget whatever's on your mind today on this New Year's Eve. It's the thing, so whatever you're feeling going into the new year, and maybe you can help me. You know what I'm thinking, Jake? To me, today is a day that should be filled with food. That's what I'm thinking. New Year's Eve food, and I'm trying to figure out where can I get really good ribs. But I don't want any sauce on them. I just want ribs. We got some people inside.
Ribs with no sauce?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but if you know a good place that I can go, or a place that I can get some good ribs that no sauce. I just want the meat. I don't want to worry about the sauce. I don't know what you call that. I thought that is it called dry rubbed beef, or I don't know how that works. That's why I'm asking. So that's my goal today. And if you want to text 239-479-5592, text me where I can get some really good ribs in Southwest Florida. I'm willing to go anywhere to get them, and I just don't want any sauce on them. Or maybe I could even go someplace and just tell them not to put any. I don't know how that works. It shows you how much I eat barbecue. It's not enough, clearly. All right. So we'll work on that. If you didn't hear the audio from the governor, man, you missed out. But you won't miss out because it's going to be part of the top 5 audio clips of the day coming up. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is Daybreak 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by Stevie Tomato's Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News. Collier County will start vaccinations this weekend. Vaccines are appointment only, but there are no spots left. The health department will vaccinate those of you who snagged a spot every day from Sunday to Friday, January 8th. The state-run testing site in Lee County is only open for one more day before the new year. CenturyLink Sports Complex closes today at noon. It'll be closed all day tomorrow for New Year's Day. The sites are back open on Saturday. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is in the process of opening a community outreach center in downtown Fort Fort Myers, the center is going up along Main Street across from the Starbucks. A home opener postponed because of COVID-19. The FGCU men's basketball home opener games scheduled for tomorrow and Saturday will be postponed for a later date after a positive COVID-19 result. Because of the 14-day quarantine period, this will also impact the team's January 8th and 9th trip to Liberty. The official opener for the team will now be January 15th and 16th. Charlotte County gave out more than 200 vaccines in about 2.5 hours Wednesday. People scheduled an appointment and drove through the line to get their first shot in their car. Appointments are already booked until next week. A reminder for you ahead of New Year's Eve, purchasing and setting off fireworks is illegal in much of the state of Florida. Governor DeSantis signed off on a bill to allow it earlier in 2020. However, you will not be able to light fireworks on Naples beaches or at their parks either. Despite the signed bill, it does not override local regulations in place by the city of Naples. I'm Kirsten Delgado with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
For the last morning commute of 2020, we're still busy on the roadways in Fort Myers. There's a slowdown on Alico Road heading eastbound towards Three Oaks. Also delays on US 41 heading towards Summerlin. Also delays on US 41 heading north to Boy Scout. Now, if you're on the interstate, no complaints for you guys heading all the way from Charlotte to Collier. In Cape Coral, there is a slowdown on Santa Barbara heading north to Gleason. However, we look great over both bridges into Fort Myers. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For the final day of 2020, warm and breezy, clouds and sunshine, a high temperature of 83 degrees. As we ring in the new year, forecast at midnight looks good with a temperature in the lower 70s. Now, for the first day of 2021 for your New Year's Day, even close to records, it's going to be a warm one. High temperature of 85 degrees with a partly cloudy sky. 80s for your Saturday and breezy, then 70s on Sunday with a chance of rain and a cold front. And that's why we're going to be cooler, drier with a lot of sunshine into next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7.
92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing the foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. I give you the phone number right now because I would like you to call right now, 239-479-5592 on this New Year's Eve. I would love to hear from you. Is there something that you're looking back at 2020, and is there something that you would take away that's a positive? Do you have any good news, a positive about 2020 going into 2021 that maybe with your phone calls and your help, that maybe right now we can kind of make the switch and lead into this 2021 year and feel like, you know what, there is a lot to be, and there is, but I would love to hear from you, and maybe you can give me your thoughts on positives out of 2020 leading into 2021. Maybe you have some heroes, some villains of 2020 that you would like to bring up, and maybe just some end of the year thoughts, whatever it is. Whatever is on your mind. Doesn't make a difference what it is. Jake's going to take all callers. Just let us know what's on your mind as we head into 2021. We begin this New Year's Eve morning thinking about what's coming. And I would love to hear from you. And maybe you have some predictions. How about you can even do your own version of Nostradamus? Give us a little 2021 little predictions. Like, what do you think that we'll see in 2021? Maybe that's where we go with this. You can let me know your thoughts on that. So we can go there certainly this morning. And why don't you call right now, and we'll line up the calls as we get ready to do the thing coming up. 239-479-5592. So let's have that. Let's have that coming up. All right, it is the top 5 audio clips of today. It is the 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
We need an investigation into fraud. We need election reform measures to be passed. I've introduced bills, can't get a vote on them. So something has to change here, and this is my opportunity on January 6th to bring these issues to the fore.
So it's his way to introduce these things to the floor. That is Senator Josh Hawley, who said, yeah, he's going to be that guy. He's concerned about election integrity, and he says, you know what, I am going to say something on January 6th. I am going to challenge the Electoral College. Concerned about people being disenfranchised. By the way, speaking of Josh Hawley, you probably know all about this. The idea that he was going to do this, he put this out there on Twitter, and he got a response from an interesting Twitter account that said, go ahead, get your 2-hour debate, #sore loser. That tweet came from Walmart. When Josh Hawley announced that he's going to object to the certification of the Electoral College on January 6th, the first senator to say that he's going to do this, Walmart said, #sore loser? Oh, by the way, they've apologized. They said it was somebody else. Listen, it was somebody in the system. We had no idea. It was mistakenly posted by a member of our social media team. We deleted the post and have no intention of commenting. Hey, listen, I don't even need to go on, but that's not a great thing, is it?
Number 4.
Matter is, the president did it again tonight. He said, we're turning the curve. We're not going into a dark winter. The vaccine's going to be here in weeks. None of this is true. Right. Every health expert, including
to criticize Fauci.
Yeah, every health expert, including those in his administration, Anderson, every single one says what Joe Biden said tonight, and they all say that what President Trump said tonight to the American people is not true. And this is the fundamental problem with the president's pitch, is that the country can see that he's lying about the pandemic.
Oh, there you go. A little something for you for all of those who, including CNN and Jake Tapper, who wanted to convince everybody that there's no way there would be a vaccine by the end of the year. And he just lies. The president lies. And then obviously we know where we are right now. I just wanted to play that little ditty because that's always a lot of fun. Right? So that's something that you figured was going to happen, right? It's
Number 3.
What do you think about immigration law for Latinos? You know, Latinos are growing up, and a lot of Latinos, they go for the next level, like open new businesses and immigration laws for Latinos?
Thank you so much for the question. And I will stand with you and all dreamers, all DACA recipients, because dreamers are every bit as American as any of us. And I'll have you back in the U.S. Senate. And I will work to pass comprehensive immigration reform that establishes a path to legal status for those who lack documentation and otherwise follow the law. We have to have secure borders in this country.
Okay, well, I got to stop there. All right, so that is the Democrat, John Ossoff, who's running there in the state of Georgia at Marietta, and asked about what are we going to do about amnesty for illegals, and he's like, of course I'm in. Of course I'm doing it. Of course. What did you think? I'm on board with anything that the party tells me, and liberals, and what we're supposed to be doing, and the borders. Hey, listen, I know that there are some people that are out there that are concerned because when Joe Biden says, the comprehensive immigration reform and things are going to change along the border, and we're going to concentrate on people who want to come into this country, and we're going to do this responsibly, that means that we're going to have, again, the rush to the borders. And if we thought things were bad a few years back with those caravans coming across when Donald Trump was president of the United States, I can only imagine what we're going to be looking at moving forward. It's not going to be pretty, everybody.
Number 2.
Working on this, and our technology team's into it. And as was broke early in the week and last week about connected devices, at this very moment at a polling location in the county, not only do we now have access through the devices to the poll pad, the system, but we are in. And it's not supposed to have Wi-Fi, and that's not supposed to be able to happen. So we've documented now. It's communicating two ways in real time, meaning it's receiving data and sending data. Should never happen, shouldn't be Wi-Fi. We've now documented it in real time.
Yeah, nothing to see here. It's just that a Georgia Senate subcommittee where there's concern about election integrity. And there you go. You have the Trump team who's there saying, we got a lot of problems. We got issues with ballots not syncing up with the machines because the targets and the barcodes don't match, and there's some issues there, and we're concerned about this and some other things that are going on. That is Joe Van Pulitzer, who's saying, listen, I just want to let you know that as we speak, we're not supposed to be able to access these voting machines through Wi-Fi. Yeah, we're on right now, real time, live. It's happening right now. Just to let you know, we've documented all of this, and so we've accessed something that we're not supposed to be. And look, I'm not saying that anything could come of it. Not at all. Just because you can doesn't mean it'll happen. Just because you could have corruption doesn't mean you do. And I say that because that's the argument from the left.
Number 1.
No, so what I've said is I'm willing to take it, but I am not the priority. They're the priority. I'm under 45, and so the people under 45 are not going to be first in line for this. And so when it's my turn, I will take it. But this is who I want to be vaccinated. I want my parents, our grandparents, to be able to get it. And, granted, I'm an elected official, but whoop-de-doo. At the end of the day, let's focus where the risk is.
How horrible is that human being? What an awful human being, the Republican governor of the state of Florida, Ron DeSantis right there. How horrible that he would spark applause from people yesterday when the press asked him, why is it that he has yet to be vaccinated? And you've got there... with long-term care facility individuals and people over 65. And why are you not getting the vaccine? And how dare this horrible human being say, I'm not going to take it because I'm not a priority. They're a priority. I'm under 45. We're not the first in line for this. We should be concerned about those most vulnerable, the over 65. And I can wait. And so what? I'm an elected official. Whoop-de-doo. At the end of the day, we have to focus where the risk is. That is one good guy.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Yeah, he gets it. The left in this country doesn't get it. Democrats don't get it. The Democrats understand that 2022 is now, everybody. They understand that Governor DeSantis is in 2022 is up for re-election here in the state of Florida, and they are going to do anything and everything they can. That's local media. That's local press. That's state media. that is national media is going to do anything and everything that they can to ding Ron DeSantis and make him look bad because they didn't want him there to begin with. And they understand 22 is around the corner, and we're already in election season right now, and he's possibly going to be a 2024 contender for president of the United States with the great things that are going on in the state of Florida. And I just ask all the liberals that are out there, can you just sit back and enjoy the good things that are happening here in the state? We're even hopeful, crossing our fingers and hopeful that people that are coming from out of state, those the people from New York and California and all across the country that are coming to Florida to enjoy the economy and the breath of liberty here in this state, that we are hopeful beyond hope and praying that they don't bring their politics with them, that they're leaving those states because they understand the politics. And then when it comes to voting in the state of Florida, they will not vote for the left in this country, in this state. And I'm not sure that that's going to be the case. I'm really not. I'm hopeful and prayerful. But just sit back and enjoy it, will you? Just, I know you got to have something to do, but... okay. All right, so let's do this. 239-479-5592. It's New Year's Eve morning. Why don't we do this right now? We do it each and every day, and I would love to open the phone lines to finish out the program with you. Things that you're grateful for 2020. Maybe it hasn't all been bad. What are you looking forward to in 2021? And your predictions for 2021. Let's have those coming up as we do the thing. Your calls right now.
You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing.
All right, let's go to the calls right now. Sandy's in Naples. Sandy, what's your thing this morning on this New Year's Eve? What are you thinking about? Good morning.
My thing is one of the positives I believe that has come out of 2020 is that we have found out how much fraud there is in our elections. And I think going forward, this is going to be something that's going to be looked into thoroughly. At least I'm hoping, I'm praying that it will be. And that's a positive. That's a big positive because I don't think any of us were aware of just how much fraud there was, not just this election, but prior elections as well. So that's my positive.
All right. I like that. I like that, Sandy. Thanks so much there in Naples. Just looking for some positives in 2020. And certainly with this president, we've learned a lot as well, that when you have somebody who fights and you have somebody who's willing to dig in and somebody who's not worried about the left and not worried about never Trumpers or anybody else, that you do get a lot of the truth. And you do embolden people to get out there and do the hard work, the heavy lifting, to find out more about the corruption and things that are happening and not give up. And just because there are Republicans that are out there, and dare I say even some conservatives that are like, just hang it up, stop, focus on Georgia. Don't worry about 2020 election anymore. Forget about Trump, just move on. I say, hey, listen, I can do both. We can all do both. 239-479-5592. All right, Joe's in Fort Myers. Joe, what's your thing this morning, Joe?
Just wanted to tell you what I'm thankful for in 2020, and that's for Trump. I'm very thankful for what he's done for the country, for us. I mean, going forward, hopefully, he'll stay in. But in general, I'm just very thankful for the man.
Yeah. Well, I like that. Joe in Fort Myers, I appreciate the call. Thank you so much. 239-479-5592 and everything that this president has done and hopefully will continue. Listen, I'm not, I haven't heard any ladies singing in my ear saying that it's over yet. So that's me. That's just me personally. That may not be you, but just like I tell the left, just hang in there. Just hold on and just enjoy the ride. Let's see what's going on. January 6th hasn't popped yet. Neither is January 20th. So there's some time. I'm good with it. I'm good for the ride. Let's see how this all plays out, everybody. All right, let's go to Jeff. Jeff's in Fort Myers. Jeff, what's your thing this morning? What do you got?
Hey, Drew.
Hi.
There's three things I would like to say that I think came out of 2020 that were pretty good.
Okay.
And that's the quick development of the vaccine, which President Trump had a big hand in, but of course he'll get no credit for it. The second thing is the quick response of the Federal Reserve so that our economy didn't totally collapse. And the third thing I'd like to think came good out of 2020 is Byron Donalds being elected to the House of Representatives out of Florida at, District 19.
Yeah. I agree with all three of those things. That's a great call. Thank you so much, Jeff in Fort Myers. I appreciate the call. Yep, there's a lot to be thankful for, even with everything that has happened in 2020. And you know, I guess the point of all of this is that even when we think that there's no hope, even when we think that there's no chance, even when we are told, maybe we don't even think it, maybe we believe quite the opposite, but we're told that we are supposed to believe things about situations that you feel like you do not have control over. And I got to tell you, I am more than ever, I cannot tell you how thankful I am for certain individuals out there who work so hard to do the right thing, to investigate, to find out, even to the detriment of their family life and their own security in some cases, and the fear that's out there. That we always have people who have our backs. And if we just support them and fight alongside of them, the ideological fight, not the physical fight, but the ideological fight, then we could win. And I'm trying to think of who it was yesterday. Gosh. And I'm going to see if I can find it. Because if I can find this tweet, it was pretty classic, and it says a lot. Let's see. I'm going to try to find it as I'm talking right now, because I read this to my wife yesterday, and there's a lot of truth in it. We know about the president's approval rating through all of this. We know what the president has gone through for the past 4 years plus. We know what the country has gone through and what you have gone through. And yet you haven't folded up and gone home. You're still there for the fight. You know, okay, I can't find it, and I wish I could, but I will paraphrase what it is that I saw yesterday. We were told that Donald Trump couldn't win a primary. We were told Donald Trump couldn't beat Hillary Clinton. We were told that Donald Trump couldn't get rid of the mandates when it comes to Obamacare. We were told that Donald Trump couldn't help to get a vaccine before the end of the year. There's a lot of things that we were told could not happen with Donald Trump as president of the United States, and yet they all got accomplished. We were told that he couldn't beat Robert Mueller and the Russia collusion hoax. And we're told now that there's no way on January 6th that he's going to be able to show that he should be the president for another 4 years. I'm not sure if he should give up on the president just yet. I don't know if that makes any sense, but there's a lot in the positive column. Just putting it out there. All right, a very, very happy New Year's, and thank you for all the suggestions for ribs. I got to do ribs tonight, and I don't know where to get. I don't want sauce on the ribs. I just want barbecue ribs, or I don't know what they call it. Dry rub, is that what they call it? No sauce, and I don't know where to get it. So a lot of suggestions. Thank you for that. Enjoy your New Year's Eve. Be safe. Enjoy, and we'll see you next year. Yeah. That's everybody's gonna say. Kind of okay. Let's find out how the remainder of the forecast is for today with Wink News meteorologist Matt Devitt.
83 degrees for the final day.